Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live at Winfield High School where the 3-2 Generals are set to take on the Princeton Tigers. 5-0 on the year coming into today. Going to be a good matchup, a lot of action, a lot of high flying. We got some state leaders that my buddy Bob Goebel to my left will talk to you about here shortly. Should be a great night of action on this cool, crisp fall West Virginia night.
Weather looks right out here, and we're getting ready to watch some exciting football out here this evening. Talking about some of the people out here, Princeton's football team. Right now, they have the number 4 rated quarterback in the state of West Virginia, Chance Barker, who has thrown for 1,076 yards already. His favorite target is the number 2 wide receiver in West Virginia, Brad Mosser, with 549 yards in receptions. And not only that, on the other side of the football, they have the number 1 guy in sacks in the state of West Virginia, Daniel Jennings. So we're going to see some good players out there on Winfield's side as well. So it should be an exciting game.
Captains are headed out to the middle of the field for the coin toss now. And we will be back to you with kickoff shortly.
I'm Chris Miller, and I'm proud to sponsor productions like this one that showcase the best of this great state. School pride runs deep here. Friday night lights, crowded gyms, packed auditoriums. It's what makes this such a great place to live and work. So be true to your school. And at Dutch Miller Auto, we're there with you. Because when we build on our young people, everybody wins. I'm proud to lead the way as we bring out the best in West Virginia. I'm Chris Miller, and enjoy the game.
Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane is built a little differently than other dealerships on things like a smile and a handshake. That's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the huge inventory in both new and pre-owned doesn't hurt either. So when you're ready for your next vehicle, make that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Just off the Hurricane exit of I-64, Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
West Virginia's only Acura dealer, Lester Raines Acura. Keeping it simple, saving you money. Lester Raines Honda. Consider Lester Raines Mazda for your next vehicle purchase.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just set to take kickoff here in a moment. Looking at both teams this evening, we have Princeton under the tutelage of Keith Taylor, Eddie Smolder leading the Winfield Generals. Winfield coming in at 3-2 on the year, and Princeton coming in at 5-0. Princeton will be in the white and blue with the tiger stripes on their helmet, and Winfield in the green and black. My buddy Bob Goebel to my left here was talking earlier when he played back in the 70s when the pigskin was still made of skin from pigs.
And they drove Model Ts to the game.
That's right. Had to hand crank them on that steam engine. It was just the white and green for the Generals. They added black touch. Something I like. I said it pops, and Bob said, no, I'm a traditionalist. So
yeah, after 50 years, I still can't get used to it. But that's okay. That's what they like.
We are set to get underway here. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening here down on the river in Winfield, West Virginia. Couldn't ask for a better night. Not a cloud in the sky, no rain to be had. Should be a great, great matchup here. Aiden Hernandez will kick off for Winfield. Princeton set to receive. Garrett Mays and Bradley Moss are back deep. as we've seen a few times this year. Hernandez puts it into the end zone. He has a great leg.
Yes, that young man does. He can get a lot of oomph behind that football.
Great leg for kicking, great legs for speed. We've seen him a couple times this year, and he's been very close to breaking one multiple games, a couple really big plays throughout the season. They'll expect to see that from him on offense, but he's going to start at cornerback on defense.
Take a look at the Princeton offensive line. Looks like those are some pretty good, well-fed young men there.
Not sure what the stats are on some of these guys, but I do know they have a guy listed. Riley Bell's listed at 6'6", 370. If he gets in your way, look out. Shotgun to start. Going for the hard count right off the snap. Looks to pass. He has a great wide receiver there on the little curl route. He shakes one. He's going down the sideline. He's going to get drug out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That was Bradley Mosser on the catch.
And as I mentioned earlier, he is right now number 2 in the state of West Virginia.
Trayvon Tanner on the tackle. You see why he's number 2. Go to him. He was wide open, got a little bit of space between him and the defender on the nice curl route. And that was number 12, Chance Barker, hitting him in stride. As we saw there, I was told coming into this game, I haven't got to see Princeton play yet, but I was told Chance Barker has a live arm, and you saw it there on play number 1. Brings up a 1st and 10 from about the 44-yard line for the Tigers.
Got the double stack on both sides here.
A little bit of confusion between the receivers. Wasn't sure what was going on there.
Good job for the Generals getting up the field.
Barker looked this way to Daniel Jennings on a bubble or a screen pass. Jennings was confused before the snap. He had his hands up. Broken play, ends up in a sack of 8-yard loss.
Aiden Douglas, Jacob Walker, and Austin Lynch in on that big pile of humanity there on the quarterback.
Hard to ask your offensive line to block when the receivers don't know what's going on. Princeton can come back on 2nd and a mile. Motion out of the backfield to the empty set, going to be a pass. Bubble screen back to Mosser. Mosser breaks one. He's got space. It's going to be Hernandez taking him down there at the 40-yard line. A little assist there on the tackle by Carson Samples. Chance Barker starting out hot, 2 for 2, both to Bradley Mosser, moving this ball right down the field here. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Going to go no huddle here. Not a hurry-up offense, but not giving the defense a chance to regroup or take their time either.
Kind of like an impatient offense.
Going to be the first run of the game over the right-hand side. It's going to be number 3, Marquell Lowe on the carry. Picking up about 2.5.
Generals did a nice job stopping up the attempt at the zone combination up front there.
As we saw both against Herbert Hoover and also against Wayne, the defensive front for Winfield is stout. They stand their ground. They battle in the trenches. This is a very well-coached, very well defensive front that Eddie Smolder has here.
They're walking up the ends to bring them off the corners this time.
Keep that same formation with the double stack. Seems to be some confusion. The receivers on the far side from the Princeton sideline aren't getting the play call here. Going to be an option downhill. It's going to be the pitch. It's going to be around the left side. He's got room. Flag on the play. That's going to be Marquell Lowe, number 3, rumbling and stumbling to the house. But I believe we got 2 pieces of laundry on the field, and this will be coming back for a hold call. I didn't see who it was on. Aiden Hernandez grabbing his jersey, saying, hey, it was me that they were grabbing. I'd imagine that was probably Mosser on the hold, if I had to guess. Is that who Hernandez was matched up with?
Great effort. Nice job running the football there.
Great play by Chance Barker. Defensive end came right at him. He made the option read perfect. Great run by Bradley Mosser, but Hernandez never got the chance to make the tackle because he was getting held. That'll back Princeton up 10. Will be 2nd down, though.
Every time I see something like this, I think about when I played for a semi-pro football team in Charleston called the Rockets, and my coach was Lonnie Warwick of the Minnesota Vikings linebacker fame. And he always said, you can't have penalties. He would be preaching that all the time. And he's right.
Penalties are drive killers. We'll see if they can overcome this one. Brings up about a 2nd and 15. Trips right for the first time tonight. Going to go to the bubble screen, and it's going to be right in his hands, but that's going to be number 23. Daniel Jennings can't hang on to it.
Hit him in the worst spot.
Absolutely. He might have heard footsteps because I believe that was Trevon Tanner coming downhill. Or I'm sorry, that was number 9. Gannon Boggs coming downhill to make that tackle. He was ready for the play.
I'll tell you one thing. He certainly can put some smoke on that football when he wants to.
That was a rope, if you will. Might have to close the windows here in the press box. These cowbells on this home sideline are going crazy on 3rd down here. Sticking with the trips formation. Barker's going to check with the sideline, get the new play in. Going to be a zone option read, and they're going to go back to low over the right-hand side. He's going to pick up some room. He's got a chance. Takes a hit, keeps on going. He's going to
second effort, picked up about 5 extra yards there, didn't he?
Absolutely. Going to be about a 11 or 12-yard gain. Going to bring up about a 4th and 3. Early indication here, Princeton's going to leave the offense on the field. The Generals are going to sub out a linebacker and bring in big number 62. Jacob Kimball up front, expecting a run up the middle here. Home crowd getting into it. Princeton is looking to pick up the first down on their first drive of the game. And that's going to be a false start. This home crowd thinks they might have had something to do with that, and I believe they did.
They're backing the Generals this evening. They're having a lot of fun and doing a great job cheering for them.
It's going to be on the left guard. I couldn't tell the number, but that was the left guard that moved early there. It's going to back them up. They're going to leave the offense on the field saying we're still going for it. Second penalty of the game for the Tigers, making this a 4th and long.
I don't believe the Generals are going to take any of those false starts with the cadence, it seems like.
He's going to come out throwing. He has a man down the sideline. It's going to be up in the air. Hernandez turns and falls down, takes the receiver with him, Bradley Mosser. Referees are going to say no, just a tangle play. My buddy Bob Goebel gave me a hit on the hip there and said, no, absolutely pass interference. Can't believe they didn't call that one. I'm a wide receiver myself. I would have wanted the flag there if I was Mosser. They don't give it to him on the Hernandez stumble. That's going to be a turnover on downs with 9:30 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, you know, I'm just a big old hog lineman. What do I know about throwing that ball down the field?
2 big pass plays opened the game up for Princeton. Got them going. 2 penalties. The holding on the touchdown that got called back, and then the false start on 4th and 2 backed them up, so they had to throw for it. Now it's a turnover on downs, and it'll be the Generals' first possession of the game here. Looked like a false start. Doesn't seem like they called anything. They're going to run a flea flicker. Doesn't matter. That's going to be big number 21, Wyatt Klein, breaking through the line and getting the tackle.
Wyatt Klein is the son of a guy, his dad, Peter Klein, I coached at Baileysville High School many years ago.
Actually, I stand corrected. That was not Wyatt Klein. That was number 23, Daniel Jennings, who you mentioned earlier in the broadcast. He's coming out hot tonight.
Who leads the state, once again, of West Virginia in quarterback sacks.
Wasn't the quarterback because it was a
reverse option.
Reverse option play, but still, essentially a sack. Not on the stat sheet, but
absolutely.
That'll bring up 2nd and a mile here for the Generals. Oh, man, that was going to be number 13, number 12, Pinkerton, trying to keep it. He had a hole on the right-hand side there, but stumbled, tripped over the 25-yard line and couldn't get it going.
Wasn't like I've mentioned before, this is what now? This is 3rd and a cab ride.
Better get your cab fare ready because this is a long one. The meter's ticking. What do you think about the play call there by Eddie Smolder to come out firing on a trick play, first offensive play of the game?
Well, I like it. That's kind of the way I like to do things sometimes, especially the first play of the game when nobody's settled down yet. Don't know how they're really going to react. Of course, it's rolling the dice,
They fake the sweep to Hernandez. Might have been some miscommunication. Pinkerton's going to keep it himself off the right-hand side, only pick up about 1. It's going to be 4th and a mile. They're going to send the punt team out. I got to agree with you, Bob. I do like the play call, especially after the big stop on 4th down. You got the momentum. If you're able to connect on that, this place erupts.
Yeah, and the thing about it is the secondary is well coached enough where they didn't let the receiver get behind him when all that mess was going on in front of him. So he had nowhere to throw the football.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if Daniel Jennings didn't get through, there was no one open downfield.
Right.
Snaps back, it's high. Corralled, and big, long, booming punt going to be fielded by Mosser at the 39. He's got a little bit of a wall down the right sideline. He's going to get tackled and shoved out of bounds at about the 38. And that's where they'll take over on downs, 1st and 10. I believe that was Pinkerton on the stop.
Well, Winfield did a good job the first time they were on defense, slowing down the Princeton team, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can do it again.
Absolutely, that bend, don't break mentality.
Right.
The only thing Princeton really lost was time. This is about where they turned the ball over.
Right.
Maybe about a 5-yard difference on the possession change.
And they have proven week in and week out that they are explosive.
Going to stick with the trips. They're going to go up the middle to the low. He's going to cut it back to the right-hand side. He's got daylight. The cornerback can't bring him down. He's going to high-step it in the end zone down the right-hand side. He got a couple people touch him, but it didn't matter. Only thing yellow on the field are Bradley Mosser's gloves. No flags. That will stand for 6.
Nice play. Great ability bouncing outside and getting it and working it to the sideline and going down the side. Good job. Nice play.
A few nice cuts there in open field for Bradley Mosser. He takes it 35 yards to the house for Princeton's first score of the game. 6-0 PAT upcoming. The kick is up, and it's going to be good. That's going to be Bradley Ratliff with a field goal. 7-0 visitors. We'll be back after this.
Tony the Tailor is well known to have the best suits, jackets, and pants anywhere. But our strength is actually our sophisticated casual and sportswear. From Brax Pants and Emmanuel Berg sports shirts, Cole Haan and DiBianco shoes, Left Coast tees and Mac jeans, Johnny O sportswear and Len belts, we have what you need to look your best at work or at play. Tony the Tailor, downtown Charleston, or online at bestmastertailor.com.
Serving the area one truck at a time for over 60 years, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is in your neighborhood each and every day working to keep your family warm and comfortable. With cooler days ahead and winter right around the corner, now's the time to schedule your home HVAC system tune-up and preventive maintenance. If you need a new system and received a quote from another company, give Mullen a chance to take a second look. Right now we're offering 0% financing on a new Ream home system and includes a 10-year worry-free warranty. Remember, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call or visit us online today to schedule your appointment at mullenplumbing.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After the one-play drive by the Princeton Tigers is going to be Ratliff teeing it up to kick it off. And I'll tell you what, Ratliff has had a lot of kickoffs so far this year with the lowest scoring game for this Princeton Tigers is 41 points for his Capital. They put some points on the board. That's going to stay in bounds. It's not going to go in the end zone. He's going to have to pick it up and play it. He has some daylight. He breaks one. Little bit of stumble and stutter, and he's going to be across the 40 down to the 42-yard line, 43-yard line before he is tackled. First down, Generals.
Nice job on the return team there.
Return team coming up big. I could be wrong, but I believe that was number 22, Hunter Cremines on the carry. But back to that schedule, I mean, the scores are 41-63, 44-62, and 70 on the year for this Princeton team. They can put it on you if they get the chance. As we saw here early, they're up 7-0 with just under 7 to play in the first.
Right, and they're capable of doing it very fast, too.
Absolutely. Winfield going to go shotgun on this first down play. He's going to let one fly. Hernandez has a step on the defender. He had Bradley Mosser beat, but it was – Easton Pinkerton put it a little bit too long, about two yards too deep on that one.
Nice ball. Just need to pull on back just a hair.
It's hard to get that timing down sometimes. Even though you're on the home field and you know what the yardage is and all that kind of stuff, it's a little stutter here at the line. Little jam by Mosser might have slowed Hernandez down a little bit, but he had a step on him. Would have been a quick strike by this Generals team. They're going to regroup. Tigers are going to stick to their base defense. Option downhill is going to be a pitch left. That's going to be number 3, Christopher Radcliffe on the carry.
Trying to create some room there, spreading out the offense, getting twins on both sides where obviously the defense has to spread out with them. Gives them more of a chance maybe to get downhill and get that pitch. And on the other side, Princeton did a great job of running and getting to the football.
Looks like there's a flag on the play, maybe?
Yes.
Didn't initially see it. Not sure what the call was. We'll have to wait for the umpire. It's going to be holding on the Generals. Not something you want to see. That's going to back them up. Going to take away the couple-yard gain that Radcliffe picked up. 2nd down and 20 here for the Generals.
Oh, boy.
They go back to their base formation. On 2nd and 20, you think you'd stick shotgun, but they're going to go back to their base formation. Going to be a nice little trick play on like a trip option type look. Gannon Boggs up off the right-hand side. He's going to get about 10 of it back.
Looked like a little bit of an ISO there, maybe getting the lead block out of that fullback and then hand it to the next back through a hole wider there, bouncing it outside a little bit. They made up some yardage there.
Absolutely good pickup by Boggs. About erases the penalty. Brings it to 3rd and 10. Stick to that same formation. They got the wing tee to the right. Double tight. Fake it to Radcliffe. Pinkerton gives it back to Boggs. It's going to be off the left-hand side. Flag comes flying in from the back. We'll wait the call.
And Winfield is having a pretty tough time moving that defensive line back. Those guys are big and they can move. Very strong.
Absolutely. Seeing that here. Daniel Jennings clapping his hands, so you got to assume this one's going to be against Winfield. Holding against Winfield will be declined. Keith Taylor says, let's stick him in 4th and 10. Eddie Smolder says, well, we're going to punt it away, play the field position game. Down 7 here.
Good call, Coach.
Absolutely. Princeton has a quick strike offense, but, you'd rather make him go a long way on that strike if you can. Mosser's back deep. It's going to be, I believe, Lockery for the kick. It's going to be a fake. Lockery gives the leg. It's going to be Pinkerton off the left-hand side. He's not going to get it. He's going to be about 4 yards short.
Turnover.
Eddie Smolder says we're not going to play the field position game. We're going to come back with our 2nd trick play of the night. And just like the first one, it came up short. Less than a desired result there, and the Tigers will take over in their own territory.
Well, when you're playing a team like this who is undefeated and rolling along, you got to try different things, just to try to even the playing field a little bit better. And the other thing that we've talked about before when we've done a broadcast together is adversity, the ebb and flow of the game. Can you adjust? Can you adapt when a big play happens or not? And the psychological aspect of it plays as much a part of it, especially in high school football.
Absolutely. If you'd have been able to pick up on that one, your psychological well-being would definitely be on the up and up here, but it goes back to Princeton, and the Tigers will have the momentum here on the ebbs and flows, as Bob was talking about.
Be interesting to see if they go downtown right here, get a quick strike.
One thing is Mosser's got Hernandez on him, and Hernandez has the speed to stick with him.
It's true.
So it's certainly not going to be a blow-by route by your star receiver, but I'm sure he'll work to get open. Going to be trips to the top of the screen. Little pistol formation. They're going to give it to him.
Good job by the Generals plugging it up there, knocking those big boys back and stopping the run there. Nowhere to go.
Absolutely. That was number 55. Chase Riggs in on the tackle. all the hog mollies up front were standing around watching the defensive line make a tackle, something you never want to see as an offensive coach. Yeah. That's going to bring up second in about 9.5.
Yes, that can be distressing.
I believe that's the first time Marquel Lowe would touch the ball tonight and didn't break one loose.
So watching the show today had Ben Roethlisberger on, talking about the really interesting what he had to say about that. I'll tell you here in a couple minutes.
Princeton back to that. Going to throw it out to the right-hand side. That's going to be number 2, Garrett Mays on the catch.
Nice grab. Good protection up front.
Nice grab, good protection. Shakes it, gets out of the initial tackle, but then is brought down, but enough for a first down, 11-yard gain on the pass.
Big Ben was talking about playing the game, especially the way in the older days, much more quarterbacks played under center and huddled. And he was talking about he liked the huddle because you get in there and talk to your guys. You know, I need you to give me all you got on this one. You need to get down in there. You know, you need to run harder. And just communicate and encourage one another and make sure things are straight before you go to the line of scrimmage. I thought that had some pretty good points.
Absolutely. When you're spread out like this, the offensive line hasn't even turned around to look at Barker here yet this drive on a play call. It's going to be low off the right-hand side. He's not going to be touched for a while. He shakes and misses one. Makes another guy cut. He cuts it back to the sideline. And he's going to be in standing up on another touchdown. Marquel Lowe rumbling and stumbling, 33 yards for a touchdown. He has 38 yards for a touchdown. He runs a 38 and 35 to open the scoring here. 14-0 with 4:05 to play in the first. The Tigers jump out to a big lead. What'd you see there, Bob?
I saw a young man that has some wheels and knows how to get around the corner and get down the road. Man, he's impressive.
I'll tell you what, I don't even think we saw top speed. There wasn't more than a 5 or 6 yard scamper there before he made another cut. He's quick side to side as well.
Yeah, he has the natural ability to find that hole and slide through there quick.
For those of you who don't know about speed, it doesn't slump.
No, it kills.
It's going to be number 32, Braden Ratcliffe. Snap back, hold down. Ratcliffe's kick is a low line drive, but it's good. 4:05 to play, 14-0 the visiting Tigers over the Generals. We'll be back after this.
I'm Chris Miller, and I'm proud to sponsor productions like this one that showcase the best of this great state. School pride runs deep here. Friday night lights, crowded gyms, packed auditoriums. It's what makes this such a great place to live and work. So be true to your school. And at Dutch Miller Auto, we're there with you. Because when we build on our young people, everybody wins. I'm proud to lead the way as we bring out the best in West Virginia. I'm Chris Miller, and enjoy the game.
It's that time of year again when things start to cool down. But here at Yes Chevy and Yes Ford, the deals are exciting. I'm Keith Powell, and I want to help you lower your current monthly payment, have a down payment that's just $99, and get a lifetime warranty with fast and easy credit approval. That's right, don't freeze up over huge down payments. You can ride away for just $99 today. Get pre-approved at KeithSaysYes.com. Only at Yes Chevy in Hurricane and Yes Ford in Huntington.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be Braden Radcliffe teeing it up here for the kickoff after the 38-yard run by Marquel Lowe. Bob and I were talking at break, and he is a baller. What did you see there, Bob?
Well, just the natural ability he has. You know, when a kid can come up to the line of scrimmage, he's running full speed and turn sideways and slide through a hole and then turn straight again and blast down the field. He's got what it takes.
Going to be a good kickoff return. He's going to break it up over the 30-yard line, down on about the 32. I believe that's Aiden Tate on the return.
Winfield having a tough time trying to get in rhythm and get something to work. And you got to credit a lot of those big guys up front for Princeton.
Absolutely. The front seven of Princeton have really done a lot to shut down this Winfield offense early. We've seen 2 trick plays that haven't worked out. Let's see what Eddie Smolder dials up here.
And see, of course, Winfield, famous for their weightlifting program. They're not moving these guys very much.
Got some big boys on that off our defensive front for the Princeton Tigers. going to be an end around, then it's not going to matter. That's going to be number 23. Daniel Jennings get blasting into the backfield, making the tackle in the deep. Flag comes in late. We got a couple unsportsmanlike conduct coming up. Referees indicating it's going to be against the Tigers. That's when you hate to see. That's an automatic first down in the high school game.
Can't be yakking.
That's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Princeton to march the ball ahead 15 yards.
We didn't get the number on who it was on, if it was for a push and shove or just some yapping. Is it 2 and then you're gone in the high school game?
Yes.
You got to watch. There's plenty of time here, especially I'm not sure if they called that on Daniel Jennings or not. But if they did, that's a guy you can't afford to lose to some stupid plays like that.
Well, I know football's an emotional game, but I always tell them, I said, you're letting your team down. Why are you doing that to your team, doing something stupid like that,
Absolutely. Going to be Hernandez around the left side. We talked about his speed early on in the broadcast, and there you see it there as he breaks 1 for 9 on the flip.
Good job up front that time by the big boys from Winfield.
Absolutely. Talk about ebbs and flows of the game. You go from Jennings getting a 3-yard tackle for a loss into a 2nd and 1 across the 50-yard line for the Generals just in 2 quick plays there. You'd love to see something quick right now. If they're looking, they got the tight end down here, nobody's on them. They're not going to get the snap, though, in time for that to happen. I don't have a number 80 on the roster for Winfield, so I'm not sure who that is, but he was staying down here looking like snap the ball and throw to me. Pinkerton's going to keep it up the middle on the Philly tush push, and he's going to pick up 4 and a first down. That'll be Winfield's first down of the game that's not brought to you by a penalty.
A mass of green humanity rolling the white-clad youngsters off of the line of scrimmage.
Poetically put there, Bob.
Well, it hits me every once in a while. I'll try to refrain as much as possible.
I thought that came from Edgar Allan Poe himself. That brings up a 1st and 10 for the Generals. Fake this sweep to Hernandez. It's going to be Pinkerton's going to try to keep it. Jennings broke through, almost broke up the reverse, almost took Pinkerton down, and then was tackled by the offensive line that was blocking him, and there's no flag on the play. I'm really confused how the umpire watched that happen and you don't throw a flag ball. What'd you think?
I know. I don't know what's going on here, but I'll tell you one thing. They got to figure out a way to block number 23.
I don't know if I've ever seen an offensive guard tackle a defensive end while he was trying to tackle a quarterback and a penalty not be called.
Yeah, well, you know what to say in Puerto Rico, one never knows.
Absolutely. 2nd and 12 here. I'd love to see something down the field. Hernandez in the slot. He's one-on-one with Mosser. Smolder doesn't like what he sees. He's going to take a timeout. We're going to take it with him, and we'll be back after this.
CJU is a great company to work for. We've been around for 78 years. We are an underground utility construction company all across the East Coast. We are rapidly growing, and we're seeing a huge growth in this market, a huge need for employees. We are always looking for those that are experienced, those that are trying to get their foot in the door. We have positions for everybody. We offer competitive pay. We offer competitive benefits. We take pride in having a family atmosphere at CJU's, and it's truly just a family company.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 14-0 game. The Tigers of Princeton are leading the Winfield Generals at this point. Going to bring up a 2nd and 12 as we come out of the timeout that was taken by Winfield. And I'm going to tell you what, this drive has been Daniel Jennings doing his best T.J. Watt impression, just killing people in the backfield.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out what to do about him. You know, when you have a player like that, you got to figure out some way different than from your game plan to handle him, because obviously they're not handling him right now.
Absolutely. I know a lot of coaches run away from guys like T.J. Watt and Miles Garrett, and the Generals might need to start going to that left side. Instead, they're going to run right to him. They're going to throw one downfield. Hernandez has a step on a guy, and it's going to be about a yard too long. Oh, man, he had him beat.
Man, that's 2 of them that were almost in there.
That's twice that he beat Mosser and had a step on him for a touchdown. And both times Pinkerton put it just slightly out of reach. They're going to connect on one of those here shortly, I promise you.
Impressive, though, the arm that young man has.
That was a great ball. Nothing against Pinkerton on that throw. That's a timing issue, and that's something that just happens or it doesn't. You see it a lot at every level, high school, college, and pro.
Right.
Going to bring up a 3rd and long. It's going to be a throw to the big tight end.
Great job protecting up front by the Winfield Generals offensive line. Nice job in pass protection that time. And as you know, usually when you get that kind of protection, good things happen.
Absolutely. I believe that was number 80 on the catch, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. We don't have a name on him, so I apologize. That's going to be just short of the first down line. Going to bring up a 4th down. Eddie Smolder says, we faked the punt last time. We're just going to come out and go straight for it this time. Little confusion from Pinkerton as he runs back into the huddle. Got about 16 seconds to break it and get the play off.
Looks like the old sneak right here, I would think.
They're going to check with him, only 5 to go.
Timeout.
Try to draw him offside, no call. They're going to take a timeout. Smolder would like to talk this one over. While they're talking that one over, let's talk over what we've seen so far in the game, Bob.
Well, it's been really impressive. It's been pretty much a dogfight up front, except for a couple of explosive touchdowns, by Princeton. They're both getting after it, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Both teams have played hard, beating great offensive plays, great defensive plays. Love to see it. This is what Friday Night Lights are all about.
Yes, absolutely.
Great turnout from this home Winfield crowd. Fairly full side over there on the Princeton sideline. Bob and I talked in the broadcast. 2 hours is a long way to drive to watch a high school football game. So hopefully the people of Princeton are listening to this great broadcast on HD Media. That's probably why they didn't come, Bob. They said, well, I could get in the car and I could drive 2 hours. I could just sit here, throw the game up on my 80-inch, get me a cold beverage, and listen to Craig and Bob tell me what's going on.
There you go.
Pinkerton's going to go around the right-hand side, and he's going to pick up the first down. I think that was a good move by him to take it over the right guard tackle area because I don't know if it was coming straight up. Flag comes in late.
Had a player from Princeton yakking at the official.
Colum Kaiser was back there around the official who threw the flag.
Starting to get chippy out there.
Absolutely. Landon Moore, number 72, is pointing it.
Here's the call. Oh.
It's going to go against the Generals. It will be a dead ball foul. It will be the first down. They will back them on 15 yards from the spot, and that is a killer for this Generals team. You gain 10 on the drive, and then you back yourself up 15.
And I apologize to number 8 for talking about him. No wonder he was upset. Now, this is when, it's time for the head coaches to do their job. You got to keep your temperament in check. You got to concentrate on what you're doing and execute, and don't let all the outside noise affect what's going on in between the plays.
Absolutely. Can't let emotions get to you here.
No.
It's, the next play is the most important. Don't worry about the 15. Let's just get it back right here on this one. Long first quarter for this one tonight. We're 37 minutes into this thing and only 11 and a half off of the game clock. Going to go back up the middle on the option plays here.
Quick fullback dive there. No dice.
Radcliffe gets maybe a yard and a half. We'll call it 2. Feeling generous tonight. That's going to tick the game clock under 5 seconds, and that looks like this will be the end of your first quarter, where the home Winfield Generals trail the visiting Princeton Tigers 14-0. We'll be back after this.
Tudor's Biscuit World breakfast wraps are stuffed with farm fresh goodness like scrambled eggs, real cheese, and golden hash browns. Choose from fully loaded, crispy bacon, or country sausage. Now, introducing Tudor's grilled chicken lunch wraps, zesty ranch, savory Southwest, and bold barbecue. All stuffed with tender grilled chicken, lettuce, and Colby Jack cheese. From morning to noon, Tudor's wraps make a delicious meal. Tudor's new grilled chicken wraps are only $4.99 at participating locations for a limited time.
If you love spaghetti, wow, Gino's has a deal you will love. Dine in to enjoy our delicious home-style spaghetti, choice of buttered or garlic bread, and a 20-ounce soft drink for only $8.99. Topped with our famous meat sauce, Gino's home-style spaghetti is a West Virginia favorite. It's spaghetti, choice of bread, and a soft drink for only $8.99. But hurry in, this deal that you'll love is only available for a limited time. Also right now, get any 2-topping large Gino's pizza for just $12 at participating locations.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. During the first quarter intermission, we had a Winfield General legend honored on the field. Bob, why don't you tell us about that?
Jim Lett, 1969 graduate, first team All-State in football, basketball, and track.
Going to be Radcliffe off the left side on the pitch. He's going to rumble out of bounds, picking up about 5.
He was also the first player in the history, I think, in Putnam County to go on to play football at an SEC school, which is the University of Kentucky. He played quarterback. Then he gave that up for baseball, and after that he played for a team you probably heard of, the Cincinnati Reds, for a while. Then became the first base coach. He's the best athlete from around here I've ever seen.
That's saying something, because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of great athletes out of this area.
Yeah, he was something else. He could play anything.
I could think of a few people out of the Marmette, Rand area that might argue with you, but
yeah,
the age of time will tell. And Radcliffe's off the right-hand side. He's rumbling down, and he's going to be tackled at the 21-yard line. Big pickup by him. That's going to be a pickup of about 20. I'll tell you what, Markwell Lowe, number 3 for the Tigers, and number 3, Radcliffe for the Generals, are opening up this game for both sides of the ball. Great big explosive runs. Love to see it here.
Here we go. Adjustments, ebb and flow. Who can handle it?
Not sure I saw this earlier yet, but they're going to bring in Landon Hill into the backfield as a fullback. We saw him against Wayne and against Hoover. He is a bull in a china shop, and he will throw a few blocks for you.
Yes, he will.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Pinkerton follow him off one of the ends or up the middle on this play. Nope, they're going to go to the pass. Pinkerton's not going to have any time to throw. That's going to be 2 big boys. Number 72.
Well, you know the thing that's really
Landon Moore, sorry, and I'm going to give number 9 a shout out there on the big. That's Calum Kaiser on the sack. Sorry.
The thing that's impressed me about these guys, you know, we've been talking about how big they are for Princeton all year long. They can move. These guys can get off the football and get things done. That's what's causing them so many problems.
Absolutely. Size without speed doesn't mean a lot anymore. You know, in this game, it's all about being athletic. And even at 6'4", 270, Landon Moore has that athleticism. It's going to be Hernandez around the left-hand side. He's going to have nowhere to go.
Well, you've got those big guys up front, and they're banging, and they're causing what's happening where they're trying to run zone adjustments and stuff. The big guys up front are clogging up so much that they can't slide off and pick up the linebackers, and the linebackers have so much speed that they're flowing right to the football without getting anybody on them, you know. That causes a lot of problems. There's another flag. Somebody running their mouth.
It's going to be a late flag. I'm not sure if that's going to go against Daniel Jennings or Kaiser. Both of them are over there by the officials. That's going to be an automatic first down when it's 2nd and 17, sorry. What a killer it is for this Tigers defense to deal with that.
Back to what Lonnie Warwick of the Minnesota Vikings used to say. Can't have penalties, guys. They'll kill you.
I'll tell you what, these Princeton players are pointing to the sideline where some fans or athletic trainers or something are down there. They seem to be jawing at them, saying they're the ones that have been yelling at me. Why am I the one getting the penalty? The referees haven't given us a call. They're over talking to the Tigers coach. That's
always the second guy that gets caught.
in this point, they're not. It doesn't even seem to be throwing punches or pushing. It seems to be just all jawing and chipping.
Well, I'm not telling anybody how to coach, okay? But I did it a couple years. I'm calling timeout right now and getting my team on the sideline and having a little conference with them.
Well, I'll tell you what. It does look like Kalen Kaiser was pulled out of the game, and he got an earful from Keith Taylor on the sideline after that one. This puts the Generals in great field possession. Their first time inside the red zone.
Sure.
General fans need to calm down so they can hear the snap count. Going to go to Radcliffe up the middle. No, it's going to be Pinkerton keeping it around the right-hand side. He's going to get drilled at the 2-yard line.
And that drive, all of that, was caused by lack of discipline on the players' part.
Jordan Cooper in on the stop there. Big hit on Pinkerton. Not sure how many of those you could take running the ball and still feel ready to pass it later on. We'll see what happens here as we get down. It's hard to tell where that yardage is. 2nd and goal from the 3, they're going to call it.
I'd have number 40, my little end loader, out there running interference again back there if it were me.
Second down and goal from the 3-yard line. The Winfield coach is looking at the press box, looking like they can't get any signals in from the top. It's not going to matter. That's going to be Aiden Hernandez off the left-hand side. He's going to stumble in for the Winfield Generals' first touchdown of the game, and they're going to narrow this gap.
Well, the one thing I can say about the Generals, I know for sure, I've seen them in a couple of games this year now, they're not going to back down, and they're not going to give up, you know. There you go. Handle the momentum now. Here we go. The worm is turning again.
Is there another flag down there on the field, Bob? There is.
Oh, my goodness.
An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
There must be a lot of extracurricular stuff going on in between plays, obviously.
Absolutely. They did say the touchdown will stand. The call comes after the play. So the Aiden Hernandez 3-yard run does stand to make it a 14-6 game. Kick upcoming here.
And once again, like I was talking about, it's tough to maintain composure when you're in a game like this and it's so intense. You know, it's always been the yin and yang of it. You know, you coach these guys up to come off the ball and be mad and play like a maniac, but when the whistle blows, you stop doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's hard to turn that off that fast sometimes.
You got to be a little bit crazy to play this game, Bob, and having that on-off switch is one of the things you got to learn to control.
Yeah, and I've been around some guys that couldn't turn it off too.
I think they want to talk about this. It looks like Keith Taylor might be asking, can I not get that on the kickoff? I'd rather back the kickoff up if I was. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to let him kick, and they're going to take the penalty on the kickoff. Smart move. I mean, 99% chance, you know, if your kicker's decent, he's still going to make that field goal. It's a long kick. Don't get me wrong, but you'd rather have 15 yards added to the return, I would think.
Absolutely.
Snap back, hold down, kick is up. It is good. Flag comes in.
Imagine that.
They're going to call offsides. That's going to be number 19. Howard was the one on the call. Referee's pointed right at him, said he got to jump too soon. Not sure why that caused the ball to be blown dead. Offsides by the defense is not a dead ball call unless he makes contact. I didn't see contact. They should have let the play go. That kick should count in my opinion. Referees think I don't know what I'm talking about, and they're going to make him re-kick it.
Why would you re-kick it? Didn't they make it?
No, the referees they're saying it was a dead ball foul.
Oh, okay.
They blew it. So they blew it dead.
I'm sorry. So they didn't count the kick. Now they do.
And that time it's up and it is good. Trying to get a number on the kicker here. Can't tell who that is. I believe that's 86, Braden Whistler, putting it through the uprights for you. That's going to make it a 14-7 game with 9:46 to play here in the second quarter. See him gathering on the sideline as the pride of Winfield plays their fight song. Got the state champion cheerleaders getting this crowd into it. Can't believe, I don't know if they won it last year or the year before, but they have won it in recent titles. I know that. They have a great cheerleading program here.
We sure do.
Eddie Smolder talking to his guys, getting them in the mindset. I think what you mentioned about the timeout, the chippiness, I think he called them there together to tell them, you got to quit taking stupid penalties.
Right.
Got a couple guys to beat. That's going to be a great return from Mosser. I thought he went down. I was watching somebody else.
It was fumble and recovered, then advance. I don't know if you can advance a fumble and return or not, can you?
I am not 100% sure the high school rule on that. The referees are going to say it doesn't matter. They're going to say Mosser was down by contact before the ball came out. That's why I was confused. I saw Mosser laying on the ground. I saw the yellow glove there. I said, why is the guy with the ball still running?
If you get a chance to watch Mosser again or on a replay at home, or if they kick to him again tonight, you watch him. He's a classic, really good kickoff returner because he'll throttle down a little bit and let the blocks develop and read them, and then kick into that low gear and accelerate through all that stuff. That's what makes him so good at it.
Great point there. You can always get ahead of your blockers, and then you don't get the good return. So
right.
Good vision, way to let the block set up here. Going to come on the crossbucks. Nope, they're going to go back to Mosser on the left-hand side.
Quick screen there. Got the big boys out and have a little fun hitting some of the little guys. You go out there, you know what happens to your big lineman. You go out there and hit one of those guys. You know what that's called, don't you? That's a decleater.
Absolutely. Take them off their feet.
Yeah, you go out there and hit them so hard as knock them off their feet and gets their cleats out of the ground. They don't like that stuff.
Seeing that it seems that the smallest offensive lineman for Princeton is 230 pounds. The smallest offensive lineman. No defensive back wants to take on a 230-pound blocker, let alone the other four guys up there. Princeton's going to come out and man-to-man coverage. They're going to drop to his zone. They got the wheel route down the sideline. He lets it fly. And that's going to be hauled in by Lowe. He has two on the ground, one in the air. And that's going to be a 35-yard strike from Chance Parker. Dropped it right in the breadbasket. Lowe had to do nothing but put his hands around it, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Princeton Tigers to go up 21-7, 8:38 to play in the second.
I'll tell you what, that's a display. I've always said that, whether you're rolling against the arm you have or to it, that's always a great display of athletic ability to me to be able to roll out like that and take that step and launch that ball at the right time and put it on the money like that. That is not easy to do.
No, not at all. That is a great ball by Chance Barker. Great haul in by Marquel Lowe. Great play call by the offensive coordinator there on the wheel route. One of the reasons Lowe was open is because he came across from the running back position, had the linebacker trailing him, and was able to turn it up on that sideline. Right. The other two receivers ran to the inside, pulling the defenders with them, and at that point, 9 out of 10 times, especially a guy like Marquel Lowe, is going to be faster than a linebacker on him.
Right.
And you get that matchup, it's over 9 out of 10 times.
That has always been one of my favorite routes, what you're talking about there. You know, take the inside guy and drag him, and take the other guy and run him on a curl or a post, and then get the running back, like you said, and curl around to the outside and down the seam.
In the hardest part, because it was you ran it to the twin side of the field, the safety is keying on both of the receivers off the snap.
Exactly.
He's not worried about the back out of the backfield. That's, so I know a lot of people are going to say, well, how do you let a guy get behind you? You have to, because if you don't, one of the two inside receivers is catching it. That was a great play design.
Exactly. They're watching upstairs and say, well, they're jumping the wheel route, so let's just throw it to the guy on the inside now.
Absolutely.
And you know how it is. It's just give and take all the time. You got to figure out what to do.
You'll see that a lot in the college game where they throw the bubble screen 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Those backers start going, then they fake the bubble screen, hit the guy down the sideline. Right. Very similar concept. Like once you get a defense flowing, just do the opposite. And as a defense, it's hard to plan against that because you got to go with your instincts.
Sure.
Defense is all instincts in this game.
The one thing impressive about both these teams, they are both well coached. They're they're having a little trouble yakking, but that'll settle down. As far as fundamentally and everything they're doing.
Another great return here for the Winfield Generals. He's going to break it down to the sideline. He's going to get tackled into the bench. That's going to be number 5, Trevon Tanner, up across the 45-yard line. What a return. We'll call that 35, 40 yards on the return. What a play by Trevon Tanner. Just when you thought this home crowd was going to sleep, just when you thought they were out of the game, Trevon Tanner makes a great play to bring them back into it.
And grabbed that ball, cut up through the hole, and said, well, time to turn the afterburners on, and there he goes.
He had some good blocks on the play. No discredit to the guys in front of him. They did great blocking, great creating a lane for him. He did the rest. Break the huddle quick. 1st and 10 for the Generals. Going to go back to the number 3. Radcliffe off the right-hand side. He's going to pick up another, call it 5.5, 6 yards.
Winfield trying to exploit the edge now where they've had trouble being able to run the ball up the middle with all that traffic and all that beef in there, and everything's getting stalemated there.
Absolutely. And if you do that, you might be able to widen guys out. And if you can widen them out, then maybe you go back up the middle. But until you do, keep taking advantage of it. Hernandez on the pitch, going to be off the left-hand side on the reverse. Nothing doing. That's going to be number 9, Caleb Kaiser, in on the tackle. He's going to give us a little high-step dance, but I think he might get called for a penalty. What'd you see there, Bob?
I thought it was a face mask. I may be incorrect.
I thought so, too. Yep. I believe that'll probably go against Kaiser. That's why he was able to bring him down.
Yeah, but he's doing a great job of getting upfield and turning all that inside now. We're back into where the mess is instead of letting him run, pursue more yardage outside where he can break loose.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great play by him. As a defender, you're just grabbing stuff. It happens to be the face mask. That's not one of those penalties that you can outcoach a guy. That's just something that happens. Why is that not an automatic first down, Bob?
I don't know.
I'm very confused on that call. I didn't know high school still had the 5-yard.
Yeah,
I thought everything was a 15-yard across the board. Now, guess not. Doesn't matter. Hernandez back off the left-hand side, and he's going to pick up the first down.
I guess I need to get me the 2024 officials manual and get myself caught up on some of these things.
Well, you can give me the Cliff Note version, Bob. That's way too many words for me to read.
I heard that.
I'm a math guy, not an English major.
I hear you, buddy.
That'll bring up a first down for this Generals offense. They're looking to put one in here as the second quarter clock ticks under 7:20 to go in the second quarter.
And you got the big man Riley Bell in the middle, plugging it up. Number 76.
They're going to go off the right-hand side. That's going to be number 9.
Riley standing
Boggs
right there at the huddle. Riley 6'6", 370.
Riley makes the big stop. Markwell Lowe threw his hands up in the air wondering what this flag's about. Jordan Cooper asking the same thing. That's a 15-yarder automatic first down. That's a drive extender after a great play.
How many times now have we seen Princeton shoot themselves in the foot?
A lot of times at halftime, you talk halftime adjustments, you talk X's and O's, you talk game strategy. You might need to just straight up talk to your guys and say, hey, you got to quit doing the dumb things.
I think that's what we're doing right now here.
Absolutely. Keith Taylor wants to take a timeout and talk to him. Need to settle him down here. 7 minutes is a lot of ball game left here in this first half. You certainly don't want to give up a drive here and let this chippiness get out of hand.
Well, the thing about it is, too, you talk about Princeton and we're talking about the scorers earlier. They get out when they jump on people, they jump on them. And they have had no trouble against anyone. They get out there and they do their thing and they coast and they have a big time. So what's happening here, Winfield's defending them pretty well. And, of course, sometimes they're backing themselves up with the behavior and everything. But I think they're at a level of frustration that they haven't dealt with yet this year. And that causes penalties.
Absolutely. Their closest game on the season was 44-28. So a commanding victory. So you haven't been in this position. Yes, they're up 2 scores.
Right.
But the Generals have thrown everything at them it handled it. Or, sorry, Princeton's thrown everything at the Generals, and the Generals have handled it.
Basically, what's happening, like I said, they're mad and they're frustrated that they're not being able to get their way so easy.
Absolutely. You take away some of these penalties, and I'll tell you what, I think that we have a very, very different score on this game, or at least, a wider gap.
And we got a long way to go yet, ladies and gentlemen. And the Generals are getting ready to try to get closer.
Going to be a flag coming in there. Off the left side, it's going to be Radcliffe.
Officials going to have to go to the sporting goods store and buy them some new yellow material. It'll be worn out by the end of the night.
Absolutely. It's going to be a hold. It's going to go on the Generals. It's going to back them up.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is 6 minutes and 58 left in the second quarter.
I'll tell you what, man, we are an hour into this broadcast, and it's still early and not even midway through the second quarter. This is a long game. We thank you for tuning in, but you're getting to see some high-flying action, some big hits. What more could you want from a West Virginia high school football game?
Oh, yeah, there's nothing like it. You know how I feel about it. It's the greatest thing in the world on a Friday night.
Oh, absolutely.
Go to the stadium. If you can't do it, join us, and you'll have more fun than you can imagine. And we'll try again.
We'll see what happens here on a first and forever. Shotgun snap is back. He's got a guy. He's got Hernandez, but he's going to be underthrown. Oh, Hernandez did a great job to step in front and become the defending receiver on that one.
Tremendous defense.
We got a number. Is that
number 2?
Garrett Mays on the defense there. He got beat by Hernandez. He had the closing speed to get there. Ball hung just a little bit too long for Easton Pinkerton.
And it was impressive the way he did with his body. Didn't get the penalty or anything. Just got his hands in there and disrupted everything.
Great play by Hernandez for that not to be an interception. Got to give a kudos to him. Almost came away with it, to be honest with you. I think a product of that is the 2 long balls by Pinkerton, so he put a little less on that to try to make up for it. There's a little bit too much, too less. Pinkerton's going to go up off the left-hand side, try to get some of that penalty yardage back on the holding call for first down. Going to bring up about a third and call it 12.
One other thing that I talked about earlier and that I'm really enjoying about this game, both teams still playing hard. They're getting after each other.
Absolutely. Some of the flags that have come in, too, you got to think maybe this is personal. Maybe they're hitting hard because, not as about the scoreboard anymore. It's about the guy in front of me. Got a good hit last play, and I can't let him do that. He talked a little bit of trash, made a yo mama joke, so now I got to come back at him a little harder this time.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is once again, overcoming adversity. You got to be able to do it, no matter what the adversity is.
Double twins right. They got Hernandez on the up and out. Balls goes up. It's going to be hauled in by Hernandez in the back corner of the end zone. And I'll tell you what a throw by Easton Pinkerton. I talked about dropping it in the bucket before. Put the trash can out there. Buckets from downtown. Easton Pinkerton to Aiden Hernandez on the 25-yard touchdown pass.
And we come out here talking about Chance Barker and the yardage he has now being number 4 in the state. And his counterpart is throwing that ball all over the place now.
Absolutely. Chance Barker's last touchdown on that wheel route, like I said, dropped it in the bucket over the receiver's shoulder. And Easton Pinkerton said, whatever you can do, I can do better. He did the same thing. Very similar route. It was the out and up by the receiver, very similar to a wheel route. Kick is up. Kick is good after the Aiden Hernandez touchdown from the 13-yard pass from Easton Pinkerton. And we'll be back after this.
Unlock a future filled with remarkable pay, unbeatable benefits, and unparalleled satisfaction? Imagine embarking on a journey that offers you a college-level education without the weight of debt, all while earning a steady income. Look no further than the West Virginia Building and Construction Trades Apprenticeship Programs. Join us, And together, let's build a future that's brighter and stronger. Go to actwv.org to apply today. The West Virginia Building and Construction Trades, where the future is forged.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Hernandez set to tee it up after the 13-yard catch by himself from Easton Pinkerton.
Aiden's having some serious fun tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, he has had a great game. One on the ground, one through the air. And that's going to go into the end zone, as most of his kicks do. That's going to be a touchback.
That is such a weapon in high school that so many of them don't have, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to tell you what. Aiden Hernandez is having a great game. One on the ground, one in the air. The other one who might be having a better game than him is Marquel Lowe on the other side. 2 on the ground, 1 in the air.
Yeah.
And he got a chance to do something else on offense now.
I certainly wouldn't want to try to vote on the MVP of the game right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It could go either way.
What a great crowd here. Everybody having fun, watching the game. Nothing like it in the world, buddy.
Absolutely. Friday Night Lights is something special. One play drive last time to open the scoring back up and quiet this crowd down. They're going to look to do it again, and it's going to be Low off the left-hand side. He's got some daylight. He breaks down the sideline. He almost makes a man miss. Can't step out of the tackle on the shoestring. That's going to be number 5, Trevon Tanner, bringing him down. And if it wasn't Tanner, it was nobody else. He was going to be gone.
What a gift that young man has, changing speed, reading blocks, and when he gets past that line of scrimmage and turns the jets on, you better hope you have somebody down the field a little ways that can get an angle on him.
We talked earlier off mic, but I don't know what the college recruiting is in West Virginia. But if there's any scouts listening to this game, Marquel Lowe is listed 5'11", 185. What a strike. We'll get back to that in a second, but Chance Barker just threw a curl route on the outside. There was an absolute bullet. What a throw. Mosser on the catch, another one to his stat sheet.
Yeah, he's getting warmed up now. That ball's starting to really come off his hand now.
But I was going to finish my thought there that Marquel Lowe is a college running back. If there's a scout out there listening, you get him in the weight room, you could add 20 or 30 pounds to his frame, and he could be a freight train at 215, 5'11 with his speed and quickness. He could be unbelievable. And as I say that, as I was getting ready to say that on the last play, then you see Chance Barker listed at 6'2", 170. Right. He has the arm talent to certainly be a college recruit. So I hope they end up somewhere, get some looks from these videos. He's going to flip it out, and it's going to be low around the right-hand side on the option. Flag comes flying in way in the back. Might have been a hold on one of the receivers here.
Well, to concur with what your assessments were on this young man, some of you people out there don't know, I was a head college football coach for 9 years, and I totally agree. You know, somebody needs to give this kid a chance. Well, you don't need to get a chance. You need to go on and recruit him because he's going to be going places. My
high school coach used to say the eye in the sky does not lie. You can go back and watch the film, and you're going to see it time and time again. Every time he touches the ball, he has the opportunity to break it. And you're not playing against a scrub team. This Winfield team is good. They have great players that he's playing against.
Right.
You know, it's one thing if you're playing against bad competition and you look great. He's playing against good competition. This linebacking core, this defensive front for Winfield is fantastic.
And if you're a coach, you want to watch him, just tune in to HD Media or RSN Sports, and you can watch the game again.
Absolutely. It's out there forever on the drive, so look it up. Turn it on when you're at work and don't feel like doing anything Monday morning. Going to go back to this split gun look. Going to throw the bubble screen out the left-hand side. Generals attack straight downhill.
Nice job.
Oh, that's a killer.
There we go again.
I don't know if that looks like number 18, Aiden Tate, in on the tackle. Host of guys came in to finish him off. Referee said it was a little too rough, a little too late. Probably going to be 15 against the Generals.
This is one thing that sorry here, waiting to see what the call is. So one of the things I was talking about, though, all the time now, particularly in spread offensive stuff, you see him throwing the quick stuff out there real quick. and the receiver catching the other one or two blocking for him, and usually pick up some good yardage because a lot of times the defenders haven't worked on open field tackling enough. Well, this bunch over here, the green jerseys on, they're very good at open field tackling.
They don't miss a lot of tackles. I'm not sure what that stoppage was, but they didn't do anything with it, so here we go. 4 streak routes. He's just going to launch one downfield. It's going to be underthrown. Nope.
Wow.
It's going to be over top of the defender.
Money.
Aiden Tate can't get his hand up. Mosser's going to haul it in on the strike from Chance Barker. When he let it go, I thought that was way too low, way too much of a line drive, but that was 45 yards on a rope. That is something college scouts and coaches should be drooling over.
Say, if you're looking for a quarterback to go with that running back we're talking about, right there he is.
What a throw by Chance Barker. 45 yards on the money. Hit him in the chest. I know you said coming into the broadcast that Bradley Mosser is the number 4 wide receiver,
right,
yardage-wise, in the state.
Yep.
And he's getting open.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you what, Chance Barker's making his job awfully easy.
Well, the thing that's impressive is he has what great quarterbacks have. He sees the field real well. He's got a really strong arm, but the most impressive thing about him is he has the touch. He knows when to put some smoke on it, and he knows when to lay it out there, and he knows when to throw it deep or whatever kind of touch he needs on that ball. And that's hard to teach, and most times kind of natural.
I think, when you watch on a high school level, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you've coached at every level. When you watch on the high school level, that touch that you talked about, it's very hard to do. And even as you get into the college and the pro level, there are guys that have great arms that don't have touch. You mentioned Ben Roethlisberger earlier. Right. I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I love Big Ben. But throughout his career, there were passes that he missed because he just didn't have that that touch.
Right.
And he's one of the best 5 quarterbacks out of the last 30 years of football. And that's something very hard to do, like you said, and Chance Barker has it.
If you want to see a great quarterback, love him or hate him, Aaron Rodgers, next time that guy plays, just watch him throw and look at the windows he puts a football in. It's incredible. But this young man, he's got a great future ahead of him. He can throw a football.
He's only listed as a junior, so lucky for us. He'll be back next year. We'll get to watch him again. He'll
be getting a lot of mail by then.
I would certainly hope so. If his parents are listening to this, send this tape to any college you can find. People are going to want him on their sidelines. One thing about that pass play, too, it was 4 streaks. And high school quarterbacks have a tendency to throw to the sideline because it's the safe throw. It's the easy thing to do. He waited that extra half second. He waited for Mosser to get behind the defender, and then he threw an absolute dime. Going to be a squib kick. Going to be fallen on by number 1, Aiden Martinez. And that's where the Generals will take over. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line with 4:17 to play, down 14.
Yeah, they didn't want to have that quick return, did they? Or the long return again.
Absolutely, yeah. The Generals have had a couple good returns. They don't want to take a chance on breaking that. We've seen Martinez, though. He is athletic. If he picks that up, he probably can scamper for a few. He's got some wheels. Yeah,
and the thing about it is that's enjoyable with this game, too. You watch this, we have no idea who's going to come out on top of this game. Because a lot of things can still happen. And both teams, like I've said 100 times now, are playing really hard. And that's what I love about watching a game like this.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 from the Generals from the 40-yard line. They're going to fake it. Pinkerton's going to call his own number off the left-hand side, cut it back up the middle. He's going to rumble and stumble. He's going to keep those legs turning, pick up an extra 2. That's going to be a 9-yard carry for Easton Pinkerton.
Tremendous effort by the quarterback.
You talked about anything could happen. The last time we called a game together 2 weeks ago, Winfield at Wayne. What happened, Bob?
Well, it came down to the wire, too, didn't it?
But why? Aiden Hernandez broke one up the middle.
Yep.
No one around him and dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And just one of those fluke things that in the game of football happens way more often than it should, way more often than you would think. But a play like that could change the game, and that very easily could happen and change the momentum in this game going the other way. Princeton can have an error like that. So a lot of game left.
Great play right there on defense.
I don't know if you're going to know this name, Daniel Jennings. We've called that a few times tonight.
Man, does that young man have not only a motor, but he has a nose for the pigskin.
Absolutely. And he loves to hit, man. It's one thing when you're a defensive player and you get to the ball, you got to be able to finish. He loves contact. He loves hitting the person.
And anytime you're running in his neighborhood, you're not going to have very much success. Seems like, anyway.
I don't know if he's old enough to vote, but he's going to vote for whatever president will make football violent again. Big block on the left-hand side, but it's not going to matter. I was watching the block, so I didn't get to see what happened on the backside of the play, and I apologize. But did Daniel Jennings just run that play down from behind?
Yeah.
From the backside defensive end slot?
Him and our buddy number 23.
Number 9, Caleb Kaiser doing it as well with him there, the linebacker. What a play by both of those guys. Straight hustle.
Well, like I was talking about earlier, the big boys up front make a lot of this happen because they can't get their guards out on those backers, and those guys are coming downhill so fast. A lot of times, even if they are getting clear to get to the linebacker, they're already past their head there.
Absolutely. Well, Generals are going to play clock run down. Looks like they're going to take a timeout. It's going to be 4th and 8 after the timeout. So I'm not sure what the reason to let that run down other than, we're getting close to halftime. Got to dial something up here. Easton Pinkerton dropped a dime on the last pass play on the last drive. You'd think they're going to try to do something like that again, get Hernandez open.
Well, here's something that's really cool. Riley Bell, who is 6'6", 370, took a blow, and he was replaced by number 7'8", Kamani Singleton. Kamani, the sophomore, is 6 foot 355. So you wonder why they're having trouble moving some people out of there?
I've never been to Princeton High School. Do they have an elevator? Because I feel like 4 of these guys can't ride in it at the same time. These guys are, what are they feeding them down in Princeton County?
Yeah, they put a little tag on them at the beginning of school year. They're not allowed to get on the elevator. Man, there's some big boys. That's a big sophomore right there. I want to go hang out and go hit the buffet with him sometime. It'd be fun getting down.
I want to be there before him. Not going to be anything left.
Well, he's doing a great job. He's plugging it up in there now. He's playing.
He's got that Casey Hampton build.
Yes, sir.
Might not make a tackle, but he's going to take up 2 or 3 offensive linemen with him. Going to be a punt. That's why they let the play clock run down. That ball is going to run down close to the out-of-bounds line. And it does roll out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over with 1:54, which is an eternity in this game.
With that much time left, too, the Tigers might come out putting that thing in the air again, too.
Absolutely. I mean, if I were them, I would. After the last throw that I just watched by Chance Barker, I am letting him – the only problem is I would let him throw on every play, but then I'd look and go, well, we should probably let Marquel Lowe touch the ball again because good things happen every time he touches it.
Well, maybe we're going to run him off all 4 verticals again and then dump it to the back coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do something like that. That's a beautiful problem for an offensive coordinator to have. Just pick your poison.
Yeah. Yep, it sure is. Speed kills. Like I said earlier, can't defend speed. Looks like they may throw it here.
1st and 10, shotgun. Going to go back to Lowe on the ground. He's going to cut it off to the left-hand side. What a move by him right at the line. Look at that. He picks up 10.
I wonder if his nickname is Lightning.
If not, it certainly should be. A flag came in late. Not sure what it could be for because Lowe didn't get tackled. And there was no one else around him other than defenders.
I think they called a penalty on the down marker for getting in the player's way.
That's about the hardest thing that he's hit tonight. Not many people can bring him down.
Goes back to psychology once again. Winfield's playing tough. They're fighting hard here. And now they're going to have a penalty against them to back them up. Psychologically, mentally, you got to put that out of your mind, go to the next play, and play as hard as you can. You can't dwell on anything that's happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of like some guy used to coach down in Tuscaloosa, talk about this thing called the process. And that's what you got to do, one play at a time.
Absolutely. You got to go 1-0. You win your job. Your buddy next to you wins his job. You win the play. You win the series. You win the quarter. You win the half. You win the game. That's the game of football.
Right. And the thing about it is if you do it one play at a time as hard as you can, all that other emotional stuff is not involved in it because you're concentrating on your job.
Absolutely. Next play is most important. We'll see what the Generals can do to stop this high-flying offense. 1st and 10 from the 45 for the Tigers. Game clock at 1:47. Play clock ticking under 10. Got to get it off here. Going to be a jet sweep. Nothing doing in the backfield.
Good job by Winfield coming up and cutting off that edge and making him turn back inside to where all the crazy stuff's going on. Get into the meat of it.
Absolutely. That's our buddy Daniel Jennings taking it. For the first time, he took a big hit instead of being the one that gives it. He comes up a little limber. Laboring a little bit. He's not going to do much on this play, and I think the quarterback was looking for him. There was no one there. He dumps it to low out of the backfield. He's got some room to run. He's going to get a big block on a sideline. That's going to be a late flag coming in. Bradley Mosser took what you and I would call a great block and got a penalty because of the rule changes that have been made to high school football. And I'll tell you what, Mosser is pleading his case saying, what was wrong with that? What a great block.
Heard that, man.
I don't think he got him in the back. I don't think it was clipping. I don't think it was a block in the back. It's just the rules of the game, Bob. These softer generations playing now.
Yep.
I often wonder if the guys that are making the rules like this were the ones that got those blindside blocks against them.
Right. Now it's Princeton's time to go to the process.
Absolutely.
One play. Forget about that. It's gone. It's over. Let's go. Or like I used to tell my players all the time, I tell them FIDO, which meant forget it, drive on.
That's right. That's right. Next play is most important. We'll see what they do. If I'm the Tigers right now, if I'm Keith Taylor, I say, hey, let's hit Mosser down the sideline, get some good vibes back in his head before we go into halftime here. General's playing back, giving these receivers a lot of room to work. Play action. Going to be a scamper, and it's going to be a pickup of a first down and run out of bounds for Chance Barker.
Nice job getting out of that pressure right there.
Absolutely. No one open downfield, no one open across the middle. Felt the pressure. Nice little Lamar Jackson impersonation to get out to the left-hand side and pick up about 9-10 on the carry.
And that's another thing, too, that a lot of people don't realize about quarterbacks. If you got a good quarterback coach and can teach a kid to do that when he's supposed to, and you know, when he gets in trouble, what he's supposed to do, where he's supposed to go or whatever, obviously makes all the difference in the world because that's a guy that's pulling the trigger all the time.
Absolutely. You got to have a feel for it. You got to have the mental clock in your head,
Sure.
knowing time's out. But a lot of coaches can really help with that, and some don't. It's going to be a 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. It's going to be his buddy Mosser on the left-hand side for about 10, tackled inbounds. They're going to roll that clock, 36 and counting. Tigers have 2 timeouts, and they're going to take one.
When I was a coach in high school.
Correction, the backside official's saying first down now.
Oh.
So now they're going to stop the clock for the first down, get the call in. Little miscommunication there by the Stripes. Clock ticks under 30 seconds. They're going to throw it. He's going to go look Mosser's way. Nothing there. Nothing downfield. He's got all day to throw. He finally launches one. That's going to be hauled in right on the chest. I don't have a number 5. I'm not sure who that is.
Not sure either.
Don't have a name on him.
Great job coming back to the football.
Absolutely. You got the scramble drill. You know, something that you talked a moment ago about coaches coaching a quarterback what to do under pressure. You got to have a good receiver coach that says, hey, if your quarterback's scrambling, y'all can't run to the same place. You can't all get to the middle of the field or all go deep. You got to have that fire drill mentality where one guy's going short, one guy's going long. Great play there by number 5. Like I said, we don't have a name on him, but to come back and catch that football in a strike, as has been all night from Chance Barker.
When I was coaching on offense, every day in practice, we had a scramble drill every day to learn how to do what you're talking about. We also had a blitz drill to teach backs and linemen or whoever to pick up who's blitzing if they're bringing extra people. We did it every day, and we found by doing especially the blitz drill, it was second nature, and it was never a surprise or anybody freaking out because they were blitzing. We just simply pick them up because they'd seen it 100 times.
Absolutely. Practice what you're going to see in the games. I think that's something, you know, we talked about the scramble drill and the fire drill from the receivers. Sure. I think that's something that the casual fan doesn't realize.
Right.
That, you know, when you have a guy that's coming back to the ball and you have one going deep, that's not just a kid deciding what to do. That's a coach telling him all week, hey, if you got the mid route in the quarterback scrambles, you're coming short. The mid route's going long, and in the long routes trying to come back to the middle. Throw those defenders off, shake something open.
You got to adjust your route and go. Help your buddy out. Knocking on the door.
Yeah, going to bring up a 1st and 10 from just inside the 17-yard line. Low snap, he gets a crowd. He throws it to his buddy Low. He's got some room. He's got the big boys in front of him, and he is going to find the end zone for the 4th time tonight. What a catch and run. That's going to be 2 in the air now for Marquel Low. Like we said earlier in the drive, get the ball in his hands and good things happen.
Give the ball to Marquel Lightning Low.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Chance Barker looked downfield, didn't see anything, went through the progression. What a great play by Chance Barker.
Yes.
Option 1, option 2, option 3 not open. Dump it to the back in a grass route. Let the man do what he can do.
And like we were just talking about a few minutes ago, that's not luck, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of work and a lot of hours of preparation to be able to do that as a quarterback.
That's drawn up in the playbook, on the chalkboard, on the whiteboard, talked about in practice. Flag coming in on the play. Chance Barker's wondering what could possibly be the penalty.
Looks like we're having a little counseling from the official. I have no idea what that is all about.
They're going to back the Tigers up 5, though.
I haven't got a clue on this one, Doug.
Didn't get a signal from the officials. They just said, hey, we're going to back it up 5. They're the letter of the law, so we'll listen to them. Chance Barker getting ready to hold.
Problem is, he didn't say anything.
Going to be number 32, Braden Radcliffe, coming out for his 5th PAT of the night. His leg's been busy. Bad snap, going to get the fire drill. The flag goes up.
I know you can't imagine this, but there's a flag on the play.
I can't imagine we'll get the call this time. I hope we do. Did Winfield reach across and knock the ball off? Is that why it was such a bad snap?
I have no idea. But we're going to walk it back the other way. Now we're even.
I hope you're just as confused as us, ladies and gentlemen, about what's going on down there.
And I want to tell you, I'm laughing because I've seen this happen as a coach, and it drives you crazy. That's what I'm laughing about.
Absolutely.
I've been there, done that. You just don't know, man.
Ratliff going to get a 3rd opportunity at this. Snap back, hold down, kick good.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone stand up and celebrate. We did not have a flag on that play.
Hallelujah. 35-0. The Tigers jump out to a 21-point lead with 10 to play here in the first half. Generals will get the ball to open the second half, I do believe. Yes.
And I tell you what, once again, talking about explosiveness, I mean, it's not hard to figure out what we're watching here. Players make plays. And when you have guys that can bust loose on you like that and make that stuff happen so fast, it is so hard to defend them. And the frustration again sets in because defensively, they're a good, sound football team. They're trying to do everything right as far as their cues and where they're supposed to be and everything. But there's just too many explosive plays.
Absolutely. It's hard to diagnose live. I'm sure Eddie Smolder will go back with his crew and watch game film tonight or tomorrow morning with the team, probably tomorrow morning practice, and go over some stuff. But I don't know what you could possibly say to your guys when you got Bradley Mosser and Marquel Lowe just doing what they do. It's hard to defend them. It's hard to stop them.
Right.
You can't stop them. You just have to slow them down a lot of times.
Can't stop a thoroughbred.
That's right.
A little bit of country hip-hop there to help her kick off.
Absolutely. Talking about a nice little frosty. I could go for one of those.
It's
going to be a big, deep boot. It's going to hit the receiver's hands and go into the end zone because he did not have possession of it. it will be considered a dead ball touchback with 7 seconds to play here in the first half.
That's one thing different with the dead ball touchback in high school. College they have to down that and run it out.
Absolutely.
What do you think? We're looking for the Generals just to kneel on it here and regroup?
Most
or
likely
take a shot.
Most likely. I personally would take a shot, or I would run some type of wildcat with Hernandez and try to get him to break something loose. Just use that athleticism and maybe try to put one in the end zone before the end of the half. But that's why I'm not a coach. They're not going to do that. They're going to put him on the outside and go with their base offense.
I don't believe Princeton's going to let anybody behind them.
No, they're playing pretty far back off the ball in cover 2. They're going to get it to Hernandez. Let him shake it. He makes the first man miss, gives a stutter step, and he's up to the 45-yard line. But that will be all the time in the first half. We hope you join us after halftime. Should be some high-flying, action-packed game here when we come back to Winfield, West Virginia, where Winfield trails 35-14 to the Princeton Tigers. We'll be back after this.
I'm Chris Miller, and I'm proud to sponsor productions like this one that showcase the best of this great state. School pride runs deep here. Friday night lights, crowded gyms, packed auditoriums. It's what makes this such a great place to live and work. So be true to your school. And at Dutch Miller Auto, we're there with you. Because when we build on our young people, everybody wins. I'm proud to lead the way as we bring out the best in West Virginia. I'm Chris Miller, and enjoy the game.
Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane is built a little differently than other dealerships on things like a smile and a handshake. That's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the huge inventory in both new and pre-owned doesn't hurt either. So when you're ready for your next vehicle, make that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Just off the Hurricane exit of I-64, Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
Carolyn Nish, Delaney Alzudi, and Chloe Medley. Please join me in congratulating the Generals on their 2024 Cicero High School Band Invitational Grand Championship. And tomorrow they hit the streets of Elkins for the Forest Festival Grand Feature. It's on the Generals to bring home a grand championship from that competition. Ladies and gentlemen, Winfield Generals, marching band.
Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hurricane is built a little differently than other dealerships on things like a smile and a handshake. That's because Gene and Ryan built their business the old-fashioned way by making friends. There are no gimmicks or games at Walker, just honest, fair deals, and the huge inventory in both new and pre-owned doesn't hurt either. So when you're ready for your next vehicle, make that short 20-minute drive from Charleston or Huntington to Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Just off the Hurricane exit of I-64, Walker Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, making friends one deal at a time.
If you need a lawyer, then you need a lawyer who's in it to win it. You need Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler. We have a track record of winning millions for our clients. At Hill, Peterson, Carper, B. & Ditzler, we're in it to win it.
West Virginia's only Acura dealer, Lester Raines Acura. Keeping it simple, saving you money. Lester Raines Honda. Consider Lester Raines Mazda for your next vehicle purchase.
Tony the Tailor is well known to have the best suits, jackets, and pants anywhere. But our strength is actually our sophisticated casual
Home system and includes a 10-year worry-free warranty. Remember, Mullen Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call or visit us online today to schedule your appointment at mullenplumbing.com.
It's that time of year again when things start to cool down. But here at Yes Chevy and Yes Ford, the dealer is not eating up. I'm Keith Powell, and I want to help you lower your current monthly payment, have a down payment that's just $99, and get a lifetime warranty with fast and easy credit approval. That's right, don't freeze up over huge down payments. You can ride away for just $99 today. Get pre-approved at KeithSaysYes.com. Only at Yes Chevy in Hurricane and Yes Ford in Huntington.
CJE is a great company to work for. We've been around for 78 years. We are an underground utility construction company all across the East Coast. We are rapidly growing, and we're seeing a huge growth in this market, a huge need for employees. We are always looking for those that are experienced, those that are trying to get their foot in the door. We have positions for everybody. We offer competitive pay. We offer competitive benefits. We take pride in having a family atmosphere at CJ Hughes, and it's truly just a family company.
If you love spaghetti, wow, Gino's has a deal you will love. Dine in to enjoy our delicious home-style spaghetti, choice of buttered or garlic bread, and a 20-ounce soft drink for only $8.99. Topped with our famous meat sauce, Gino's home-style spaghetti is a West Virginia favorite. It's spaghetti, choice of bread, and a soft drink for only $8.99. But hurry in, this deal that you'll love is only available for a limited time. Also right now, get any 2-topping large Gino's pizza for just $12 at participating locations.
Tudor's Biscuit World breakfast wraps are stuffed with farm fresh goodness like scrambled eggs, real cheese, and golden hash browns. Choose from fully loaded, crispy bacon, or country sausage. Now, introducing Tudor's grilled chicken lunch wraps, zesty ranch, savory southwest, and bold barbecue. All stuffed with tender grilled chicken, lettuce, and Colby Jack cheese. From morning to noon, Tudor's wraps make a delicious meal. Tudor's new grilled chicken wraps are only $4.99 at participating locations for a limited time.
Are you ready to unlock a future filled with remarkable pay, unbeatable benefits, and unparalleled satisfaction? Imagine embarking on a journey that offers you a college-level education without the weight of debt, all while earning a steady income. Look no further than the West Virginia Building and Construction Trades Apprenticeship Programs. Join us, and together, let's build a future that's brighter and stronger. Go to actwv.org to apply today. The West Virginia Building and Construction Trades, where the future is forged.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have decided to join us after halftime to watch the next 24 minutes of this matchup between the Princeton Tigers and the Winfield Generals. It's currently 35-14 lead for the visitors. Been a lot of action, a lot of great plays. The scoring doesn't necessarily reflect the game. Winfield has probably played Princeton as good as any other team. They've definitely played them better than most teams that have played Princeton so far this year. So hats off. They're down 21 on the scoreboard, but they've played it a lot tougher, I'll tell you that. The kick is back. It's going to be returned. And that's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. I believe that's Aiden Tate on the return.
Well, like we were talking about off the air a few minutes ago, I think I've seen the Generals play, 2, maybe 3 times this year already, and I will guarantee you one thing, there is no quit in these guys.
Absolutely. One thing to mention on the Generals, I was talking to the statisticians for the Generals team at halftime, and a big piece of this offense and defense was Toby Lockery. He's not playing, haven't seen him tonight, wondering where he's at. He has a slap tear in his labrum. He's out for the season. Ends his high school career early, which is a shame because that kid was a baller, was a stud. He was a great kid to watch.
Great emotional leader, too.
Absolutely. Hard to replace a guy like that, and I think we're seeing it on this team now. And then that play there. Easton Pinkerton rolled out and was running for his life. No one open downfield. He's going to get called for intentional grounding, which I would have thrown it away there, too, because I certainly wouldn't want to take that hit.
I was getting ready to say, hold your scorecard, folks. Believe it or not, there's a flag on the play.
Might as well be the free space on bingo if you're playing along with us tonight. Also got some intel from the Princeton fans. Didn't know this. Probably should have looked it up before the game, and I apologize. But we talked about what an outstanding player Daniel Jennings has been, and you said coming in he leads the state in sacks.
Yes.
You're going to see that guy on Saturdays up at Happy Valley, at Penn State. He is committed 4-star recruit, I believe.
Well, no wonder I thought he was a pretty good player.
Yeah. James Franklin agrees with you, I guess.
That reinforces my ability to see what kind of players out there, I guess.
Absolutely. You know what you're talking about. Going to pitch around the left side. That's going to be to Ratcliffe, and he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing for him. And guess who? Big number 9, Caleb Kaiser, coming up from that linebacker position to make the tackle.
Well, like I reiterated to earlier, those defensive ends and linebackers can really run for this team.
Absolutely. I've been calling him a linebacker all night. He's kind of playing that T.J. Watt position, more of a Aiden Hutchinson type on the edge there.
Yeah, really like a wide defensive end.
Absolutely.
They got some road graders up front plugging that stuff up too, buddy.
I was just looking down there at the sheet. I don't have a size and a name on number 63, but he is a big boy over there playing in that guard center gap on the defense line. Going to be a screen pass, going to be off the left-hand side to tight end number 80. He's going to get about 5 on the third down tight end screen. Going to bring up 4th and forever. That'll send the punt team out. Going to play the field position game early here in the second half.
Really hard to get the ball outside because of their speed, and it's really tough to do anything inside because of their size and how physical they are.
Absolutely, and they got Bradley Mosser back there to return it. He's dangerous, as we saw in the first half. I'm sure he's excited to get his hands on the ball for the first time in the second half. Flag comes in, surprise, surprise. We're going to hit offside before the play even started.
Hang in there, people. We'll do our best to see that you don't get yellow fever tonight.
Flags flying all over the place tonight.
You were talking about the big guy for Princeton a little while ago. That's the one I mentioned earlier this evening. He's number 78, Kamani Singleton. He's a sophomore, rolling in at 6 foot 355.
As a sophomore, I hope he's done growing for other teams' sake, but if not, if he adds a few more inches and pounds, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job right now. He's just a youngster in there.
Great punt, going to roll out at the 35-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 with a 21-point lead. 10:05 to play in the third.
We're talking about, once again, on both sides of the ball for Princeton, we've got these big guys, and You got to understand, they're not just standing up and catching people. They're getting off the ball, and they're moving some people.
Absolutely. Size, speed, and athleticism all across that front. And I got to give my hats off to the Generals' defensive line, offensive line as well. That they are greatly undersized.
Yep.
Not even close to the same mass, and they are holding their own.
Yes, they are. Playing as hard as they can, too.
Scoreboard might not indicate it, but we've seen a lot of good plays by them. Bubble screen to Mosser, right-hand side. He's got some blocks, but the Winfield Generals are swarming, and that's going to be number 5.
Generals displaying.
Trevon Tanner coming on the stop.
Displaying some good closing speed there.
Absolutely. Mosser took a big hit as he was wrapped up by Tanner. I couldn't see who actually laid the wood on him there. Call the lumber company. Send that one to the sawmill.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Brings up a 2nd and 14. The rare time Mosser touches the ball and it doesn't work out well.
Yeah, it has just about every other time this evening, hasn't it?
Seems to be on the season, too. You said coming into the season, number 4 on the stat sheet in the state. Going to give it to Lowe off the right-hand side. Actually, no, correction. That's going to be Daniel Jennings. As we mentioned, the Penn State commit, playing a little running back this time. He's going to carry it across the 40-yard line.
Boy, and
bring up 3rd and 5.
What power that young man has. He carried about 3 or 4 Generals a couple yards with him there.
And he was excited to do it. You could see when he got up there, he was embracing that ability to lay the hit stick. Big 3rd down stop coming for the Generals.
Guys that are going to a place like Penn State, they love to play whatever they can do, whenever they can do it.
3rd and 5 for the Tigers. A lot of pressure going to be coming. Doesn't matter. He gets the ball to Mosser across the 50. He's down the sideline. Mosser's going to outrun every defender, and he's going to go untouched into the end zone. That's going to be a 64-yard toss and catch. Chance Barker on the money to Bradley Mosser. They're going to jump out to a 41-14 lead here in the 3rd.
Goodness gracious, what a pitch and catch from the quarterback to the receiver. He snagged that ball with his hands.
A lot of times in high school, kids try to catch the ball with their body. They don't have that hand-eye coordination, or they don't have that ability to get their hands out there. One thing about Mosser I've noticed all night long is everything has been a hands catch.
Yes.
He doesn't let it get through his body, and that's why he's so good. If you're a youngster out there listening, work on catching with your hands, making the diamond. The more it hits your pads, the better chance you have of dropping it.
And what a great job by the quarterback, staying in the pocket, shuffling back and forth, dodging the pressure coming at him and getting that ball off.
Absolutely. Ratliff with a kick, and it's good. 42-14 here, 8:13 to play. And we'll be back after this.
I'm Chris Miller, and I'm proud to sponsor productions like this one that showcase the best of this great state. School pride runs deep here. Friday night lights, crowded gyms, packed auditoriums. It's what makes this such a great place to live and work. So be true to your school. And at Dutch Miller Auto, we're there with you. Because when we build on our young people, everybody wins. I'm proud to lead the way as we bring out the best in West Virginia. I'm Chris Miller, and enjoy the game.
Welcome back. We're about to have the kickoff from Ratcliffe after the Chance Barker to Bradley Moser 60-yard touchdown pass to spread the score 42-14 for the visiting Tigers. Before that play, I was about to say how great of a job the defensive backs really had been. They've been in man-to-man all night long. They have to walk 8 guys into the box because Lowe has been such a dramatic runner.
Well, and hats off to him being a receiver. That's an incredible play. That would be hard for anyone to defend what he did.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a huge return.
And the flag on the play. You know what they'll do? They'll just go ahead and throw the flag before the play. Would that work?
Probably would. Aiden Tate took a nice return, got it out to the 40, but a little bit late was going to be number 40, our favorite fullback here in the Valley. Landon Hill hit a guy, and I guess the referee, the umpire, thought it was a little bit late, maybe after the whistle, and that's what they're going to call the 15 on.
Well, they need to be good to Landon. I like him. He's a good player.
He is. There's that aggression, that power that he plays with.
Right.
Just a hair or two after the whistle. Like you said, ebbs and flows of the game. You gotta, you just gave up the touchdown. You're gonna take the 15-yard penalty. You got to bounce back from it. That'll make it 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line.
Well, and with a margin like this, as we say in the business, the wheels are starting to come off, and it's really hard to keep focused on what you're doing. This is human nature.
Absolutely. Trains rolling down the track out of control.
Yep.
You need a big score here and a defensive stop if you want to stay in this game. A lot of ball game left.
Right.
Snaps back. They're going to go to the air. They're going to throw, and that's going to be a great throw by Easton Pinkerton, but it got to the pads of Trevon Tanner, and he can't haul it in. Kind of what we were talking about before, something there that Mosser, catching with his hands. That's one of those ones that if you get your hands out there, you got a chance on it. That was a bang play. I'm not, nothing against Tanner there. Just the example we talked about.
This thing would be really nice too. Here is to get a sustained drive and burn some clock.
Absolutely. Great read by Pinkerton. Great. He threw to the outside shoulder on the curl route away from the defender. That's something a lot of young quarterbacks don't do. Great throw by him. Pinkerton's going to drop back to pass again, maybe trying to set up a screen, but nothing doing. All of the defensive linemen getting home, and there's your buddy. Big number 78 on the sack.
I hear ya. Kamani Singleton on the roll again. You go, big man.
Talk about a train rolling down the tracks.
Yes, sir. And I tell you what, that young man plays hard, too. He's out there giving everything he has. If he grows a couple of inches, he's going to be something. Well, he's already something. He's going to be a lot of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really impressive for his size.
General's going through on 3rd and 12 with a trip set. Flanker left, they fake it. Pinkerton doesn't know what he wants to do. He wants to try to get downfield. There's a host of guys. He throws it up. What a catch on a comeback route by Aiden Hernandez. He gets it for the first down. What a play by Pinkerton to keep it alive. He had 4 or 5 guys coming right in his face. And what are you going to do?
Yeah, and we talked about earlier about quarterbacks rolling and throwing the ball. And once again, if you're rolling opposite of your arm, he rolled to the left and threw that ball. And that is a difficult thing to do. You have to have some athletic ability to put the ball on the money doing that.
Absolutely. You got that many guys in your grill. You got to do something, and he did there. What a play by Easton Pinkerton.
What, no flag?
Shockingly, no. Referee reached in the wrong pocket, I guess. Motion Hutchinson, fake it to him. Pinkerton off the right side. Not a lot doing. He stutter steps. He's around the corner. He's going to break when he's got the first down before he's hauled down out of bounds. Low on the tackle.
Great athletic ability. They had him in the backfield. He shaked and baked a little bit and got out of that mess.
Absolutely. We talked about it early in the broadcast. We said, I would be looking for number 23, Daniel Jennings, wonder where he's at, and go the opposite direction. And that's kind of what they've been seeming to do a little bit more. Did that play, and it worked out for him.
Kind of like a little Lawrence Taylor out there. You want to find out where he is lined up.
Absolutely.
Major disruptor.
Bring up 1st and 10 from the 48 for the Generals. Looking to get a good drive going here. First couple plays playing well for him.
Playing up tight, straight man to man.
Speed pitch, he gets it to Ratcliffe right away, and he bounces it for about 7. Late hit, fans want a penalty. They're not going to get one.
Winfield picking up the pace, running plays a lot quicker right now, too. I think this has a little bit to what's helping them.
Definitely part of the strategy. You could hear the cheerleaders doing their best to get this crowd into it as they try to sustain a drive here. got to give hats off to them. They've been great keeping the crowd alive all night. The Winfield band had an amazing halftime show along with the color guard. Got to tip our hats to them. It's always something, Bob, when you leave the booth at halftime and there's no line at the concession stand because everybody stayed to watch the band play. That's how good this Winfield band is.
Yeah, hats off to their band. They are really impressive.
Played a great show.
My daughter was in the band when she was in high school. She was also in the band at Marshall University. And believe you me, it takes a lot of work to be that good at that. Football's not the only thing you have to practice a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Coming back out of the timeout is going to be second and we'll call it 3 from the 40-yard line.
Not sure how to pick that up, but someone did. It's also open in the press box. Second down and 3.
See what's going to happen here. I wonder if he just wanted to straighten them out or got a little trickeration going on here. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll see coming out of the timeout. Base set, gun. Rolling, trying to get away. He's not going to get a chance. He is going to get absolutely demolished. I believe that was number 1, Bradley Mosser, coming up.
And number 8.
And number 8. I don't have a number for number 8. I was waiting to see who that was. I didn't get a number on him. But, wow, Easton Pinkerton is going to be feeling that one for a couple days. What an absolute just freight train downhill tackle.
These guys are really hard to beat around the corner, obviously.
Yes. Get around the corner, you think you're beating the guy, and, just can't get there. Pinkerton seems all right because he throws a dime on the outside on the out route. Going to be complete to number 5, Tanner. Going to make it a manageable 4th and 2.
Tanner's done a lot this evening to help them move the ball offensively, obviously.
He's had a great game. He's a great player. Love to see what he can do when he gets the ball in his hands. We've seen it in the return game. We see it a little bit on the offense. 4th and 2. They're going to maybe run it up the middle here. That seems like a dangerous game to play. And they're not going to get there.
Stopped them.
Like you mentioned, all night long, the offensive line or the defensive line holds them so the linebackers can break through. And who else? Number 9, Caleb Kaiser, coming in on the stop. He gives a little dance to the home crowd and lets them know, hey, this is our field. We're taking over.
I'll tell you what, that number 9, he plays with his hair on fire every down. He's so much fun to watch.
He is. Reminds me of Danny Bateman from the movie The Replacements. A little bit crazy, but you got to love it.
Or the Water Boy.
Because of the stop by Kaiser, that will give it ball back to Princeton with 4:16 to play here, up by 28. Going to give it to Daniels. He's going to get hit by a host of Generals. Pick up about 2 on the play. Sorry, Daniel Jennings, not Daniels.
By the way, the right tackle, Landon Moore, is 6'4" and weighs 270 pounds. He is a sophomore.
Man, not only they got big athletic guys, they have young big athletic guys. This Princeton team is going to be a force to be reckoned with for quite a few years.
His buddy beside him, number 55, Jimmy Bowling, who is a junior, 6'1", 245.
And historically, they're a good program. This is not a one-off for them.
Yes.
They have put great teams out for the past few years. Bring up 2nd and 8 after the Jennings carry. Going to look to throw. Nothing downfield. Give it a little scramble drill. He has a guy going downfield, but he can't get there because who else? Number 40, Landon Hill, coming and making the stop.
I'll tell you what, he's become one of my favorite players. I just love the way his motor runs all the time. He wants to play well so badly all the time.
You know, we talked about how big some of these guys are. He's listed at 5'7", 175.
Yep.
Not big by any stretch of the imagination, but if you would ask me, he might as well be 6'5", 260. He's a monster out there at middle linebacker.
Yeah, and as a coach, that's the guys you love to have around on your field because they're leaders. They lead there. They lead in the locker room, and they're fun to watch, and they just play 100 mile an hour all the time.
Going to bring up 3rd and long. They're going to go empty set. Barker in the backfield. Chance doesn't like what he sees. Getting a new play in from the sideline.
Winfield rushing 3 guys, dropping the rest of them off, making it tough for him.
See if he can hit a window. You know he has the accuracy. If he gets a guy there, they fake the screen. He's going to scramble. He had guys running, but he didn't have anything. He's going to scramble to the right, pick up the first down, and he's going to take a big hit.
And who's on top of him? Number 40.
Nah, I'm going to check that. I'm going to say number 8. Dylan Paxton, I believe. Or 9, Gannon Boggs. Kind of hard to tell. He's built like Landon Hill. I thought it was Hill as well, too.
Landon was right behind him.
You know, that play was a great play by Chance Barker. He had, some guys blitzing coming right in his face, and he decided sometimes you just got to pull out and get down the sideline.
Well, that was a great job by Winfield because they rushed their 3 essential defensive linemen and then brought another one off the corner. And for whatever reason, Princeton had trouble picking that up. Looks like they're getting ready to do the same thing.
I think the trouble picking it up was just Chance Barker being Chance Barker. They're going to go back to Daniel Jennings off the right-hand side. He's going to pick up about 8.
And the clock keeps rolling.
A little bit faster third quarter than either the first or second quarter, but a lot of these kids have junior license, I guess. I got to get them out of here by midnight.
There you go.
Got to speed the game up a little bit.
Well, they might throw one bomb down the field here or give it to that young man in the backfield beside the quarterback again.
That's what they're going to do. It's going to be Jennings off the right-hand side. He's going to hit the pile. He's going to push it for about an extra 5. Picks up 7 on the play. First down for the Tigers.
Nice call putting the other tailback in motion, which made the linebacker run out with him, clearing the way for him to get to the second level there.
When you see something like that, that's when you know that, Princeton's not solely relying on their athleticism. Their coaches are looking at everything.
Sure.
Their guys up in the booth are watching that play. They're telling them what happened so that they can come back to something later in the game. Maybe not tonight because they have the commanding lead, but later in the season that'll pay dividends when they see that.
Every little thing helps, whether it's good or bad. You got to learn from it.
Absolutely. Clock ticks under 40 seconds to go here. It's going to be Jennings off the right-hand side again. He's going to hit the pile. He's going to throw his own man 5 yards downfield out of his way before he's brought down by a host of Winfield Generals. Led, I believe, by number 50, Jacob Walker.
I believe Princeton is happy right now just to try to grind it a little bit and chew some clock up.
Absolutely. They're looking at the play clock and looking at the game clock. We tick under 12. That's probably going to take us to the end of the third quarter. Can't imagine they're going to want to run one. I am wrong, and that's why I'm not a coach. They're going to snap it. Fake it to Jennings, run the option, and it's going to be great open field tackle, and they're going to tackle Chance Barker and bring up a third down, and that's how the end of the third will go. 42-14, the home Generals trail the visiting Tigers. We'll be back after this.
I'm Chris Miller, and I'm proud to sponsor productions like this one that showcase the best of this great state. School pride runs deep here. Friday night lights, crowded gyms, packed auditoriums. It's what makes this such a great place to live and work. So be true to your school. And at Dutch Miller Auto, we're there with you. Because when we build on our young people, everybody wins. I'm proud to lead the way as we bring out the best in West Virginia. I'm Chris Miller, and enjoy the game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Winfield, West Virginia here on the river. About to kick off the fourth quarter, where it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Tigers.
And yes, they were just playing jump, and no, I'm not going to jump for you.
This press box, I don't know what it's built on, but I hope if you're going to jump, we're going to, What position did you play back in the day, Bob?
Offensive tackle mostly, a little bit of guard.
Yeah, I mentioned, You're a large fellow, not in a bad way. You are built like an offensive lineman, though, So.
Yep, my wife gives me a hard time telling me I look like a seagull, big belly and skinny legs.
It's going to be Jennings off the left-hand side. He's going to break. Sorry, that's going to be low. He's going to break one flag coming in on the play. Started off the fourth quarter just like we did the third with a penalty flag.
What did I nickname him? Oh, Lightning.
You saw the burst of speed there.
Man, I tell you what, he accelerates so fast.
He covered the 20 to the 10 pretty quickly. I talked to some people, at halftime from Princeton. I was mentioning, that Jennings did commit to Penn State. Chance Barker hasn't really got a lot of looks yet as he's just getting into his junior year. But Marquell Lowe's the one that, really surprised me. They said he has a couple D2 schools talking to him. He hasn't really committed yet.
Right.
I don't know what those D2 schools are, but there's one right down the river here where you used to coach, I believe. If they haven't given him a call, they're messing up. This kid is a stud.
West Virginia State?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Great day to be a Jacket. No need to have one here in Winfield. Beautiful night under these Friday night lights.
Nothing like it. I'll tell you what, that's a good program at West Virginia State, too. The head coach there, John Pennington's a friend of mine, and he does a great job there. And the thing that impresses me about him, he graduates his players.
That's always a big thing, in the game, especially, when you get down to the D2 and D3 level. You gotta know that your chances of going and getting that $1 million paycheck are slim to none. You're here for school, so always impressive, always good when a coach has that kind of record.
I always used to tell my players when I coach there, it doesn't say West Virginia State football on that building. It says West Virginia State University.
Absolutely. Bring up a 3rd and long after the penalty. Go back to low over the right-hand side. Nothing doing. The big hog Molly's got beat. That's going to be number 55. Chase Riggs on the tackle. He's had a couple tackles at the line or in the backfield tonight. He's had a great game.
Surely they're not going to punt, are they?
Hey, you would think most coaches would when it is 4th and 22.
I would.
Yeah. However, when you have this many playmakers, you never know what they could do. Just let them
That's true.
Scramble. We'll see what happens.
And they haven't let them in the end zone too many times yet either.
Going to go empty set. Barker's going to look to throw. He's going to roll his right, steps up in the pocket. He lets one fly, and bam, on the money, on the run, stepping up in the pocket, looks downfield, and that's going to be hauled in for a touchdown. That's going to be number 2, Garrett Mays on the catch. 40-yard strike on the money, right in the breadbasket from Chance Barker. And I'll tell you what, every time that ball leaves his hand, it is going right to his receiver. What a throw.
Guys, I know a lot of it is coaching. A lot of it is. But you have to remember one other thing, too. No matter what kind of scheme you have, however you coach, players make plays. That's the bottom line.
He should have been sacked in the backfield. He stepped up in the pocket. A lot of kids at his age would have tried to roll right or left. He knew that the pressure was coming from the outside. He felt it. He stepped up into the pocket, eyes downfield, and delivered an absolute laser to Garrett Mays. Going to be a fire drill on the bad snap that goes back, and that's going to be tackled. Number 5, Trayvon Tanner, called his name a lot. On the stop.
Trayvon's done everything else this evening for the Generals.
Might as well stop a PAT while we're at it.
What an exciting young man to watch play. He's really gifted.
48-14, 10:39 to play here in the fourth quarter. Again, we talk about the hard fought and the effort from this Winfield team. I'll tell you what, they're 3-2 on the season. And it just doesn't make sense because the games they lost, we were up in Herbert Hoover, and they lost 29-15. It looked like they lost by 14, but that came down to the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They faced that great offensive line led by Big Mighty Lopez. who I'm sure we're going to eventually see somewhere on a Saturday. That
right.
How good of an offensive lineman he was, and they held their own there. And then they lost when we were at Way Out Wayne 2 weeks ago. Late in the game, had a chance for a lead, and a timely fumble cost them to lose 26-14. And then now tonight, the effort doesn't match what people are tuning in to see on the scoreboard here. So you got to feel for these kids. They're playing their hearts out. Sure they are.
That's the one thing. Like I said, when the wheels start coming off, things get tough. You still got to be able to do that.
And anyone watching who hasn't got a chance to watch Princeton play yet this year, their scores have been 41, 63, 44, 62, and 70. So the fact that they're only at 48 with 10:30 to play, that says something about Winfield. And like I said, one of their star linebackers, Toby Lockery, and tight end, is not playing because of a slap tear. He's out for the season. You get a guy like him in there, this could be a whole different ball game. No quit from the Generals, though. Going to be a late hit coming in.
Flag on the play?
Absolutely, Bob. Why wouldn't we have one?
That's the first one this evening, isn't it?
Huh. Gotta love a game with no calls.
Horsepower against Princeton. I'm announced the ball. Up toward midfield, 15 yards.
Going to be a 15-yard added on to the end of the run there. We're going to have an injury timeout.
I just, if we're up to me too, I'd ask them to run the clock now.
Yeah, no chance in having a chance of getting somebody else hurt.
Right.
Give a hand for Pinkerton as he walking off under his own power.
Glad
Hopefully
he's all right.
Maybe just a little bit of wind knocked out of him. These games are probably all over because this game has taken so long, but
you think?
Spring Mills 43, Washington nothing. Fairmont Senior 55, Buchanan Upshire nothing. Frankfort 49, Mountain Ridge 12. Martinsburg 56, Musselman 8. Bridgeport 54-0 over Brook. Roane County 45-19. Still some time to go there. Wheeling Park 14, Morgantown 7. That was the Metro News game of the week, so hopefully they got some highlights on that. It seems like a good one. Who else? Aiden Hernandez around the left-hand side, on the jet sweep. He gets tackled. He punches the ground, grabbing at his knee. You hate to see it. Coaches are going crazy, absolutely crazy on the sideline here for the Generals. I didn't see anything late. Did you, Bob?
No, not really. But I'll tell you what, and maybe I may be out of line saying this, but if it were up to me, I would definitely ask them just to roll the clock now and get this over with before somebody gets hurt.
Well, I think it might be a little too late for that. It is Aiden Hernandez.
Anyone else gets hurt.
Aiden Hernandez laying on the ground. Hopefully he'll be able to walk off under his own power. But the punch to the ground and the grab of the knee tells you that's probably not good. Go back to some high school scores for you, though. You got South Harrison 29, St. Mary's 14. Herbert Hoover 41 over Chapmanville, the final there.
That's a surprise. I didn't. Yep.
Williamstown 30, Marietta, Ohio 22, Nitro 43 over Ripley to 6. That's a big upset. That's number 10 over number 5 in the region.
Wow.
Preston falling to Woodrow Wilson 28-0 in the third. Still some time left in that game. George Washington 22-0 over Capital with midway through the fourth quarter there. Jefferson 42, Hedgeville 13, Elkins 37, Grafton 30, Way Out Wayne 20-6 over Lincoln County. University 17, Butler, Pennsylvania 13. Always good to see, when they go out of state and get a win. The Hurricane 56, St. Albans nothing. Wheeling Central 47-20 over Ron Brown out of Washington, D.C. Greenbrier East 34, Shady Spring 14 in the fourth quarter. That's a big one. That's number 11 getting upset by an unranked at this point. Back to action. And it's going to be a pass complete.
Nice slant route.
Good slant route
to
there.
Aiden Martinez.
Aiden Martinez on the catch. Going to be a throw from Pinkerton, which is good to see Pinkerton back in the game. And it's good, too, that Hernandez was able to, come across. However, he was helped across the field, and it does appear that they are checking out his knee there. He seems to be knee or lower leg, and he seems to be just writhing in pain on that training table. Hate to see it. Brings up a 1st and 10 from the 50 for the Generals. Shotgun snap is back. Pinkerton looks downfield. He throws it. He's got number 80, the tight end, and he's going to go for 12 yards and a big open field tackle by the cornerback there. That's going to be Bradley Mosser doing it on both sides of the ball. He's had a great game offensively, but also defensively. He's made a lot of open field tackles. Hate to see it, but number 80, we don't have a name on him, and I apologize for that. He was hit on the play, and he is slow to get up, I believe.
Looks like the Generals are going to talk it over.
Yeah. Might be just some cramp action. Seem to be stretching him out. He's going to be up, and he's going to walk off under his own power. A little bit of hobbling there, maybe get some electrolytes back in him.
Well, it's about the time that you and I are talking usually when you and I broadcast together. And I always like to tell everybody, say something good about football and go out and be a part of it. It's a great American game, a lot of fun. Go out and see all your friends, see some good competition, get your bag of popcorn, have some fun. It's one of the greatest things there is.
Nothing better than a Friday night under the lights. It brings a community together, brings a town together, brings friends and family together, brings people who wouldn't associate with each other together. It's a great game. It's a great thing, for this area and all around this great country. Pinkerton's going to drop back to pass. He throws a strike. That's going to be hauled in. It's going to be about an 11-yard game. Now it's getting chippy. A flag coming in. Number 64. Number 64, Jackson Sweeney, the offensive lineman, did not like his receiver getting thrown down, so he took a shot at the defender from Princeton. Can't tell who it was.
And I believe our buddy number 40 was one of them that got a good win.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you what. The coaches are not happy of how the receiver was thrown down after the whistle, and that's what led to the play of the late hit. We mentioned it's getting chippy, and, in a score like this, 8 minutes ago, this is not what you want to see happen. Takes away from everything we just said about saying something good about the game, Bob.
Well, yeah, it is, and people wonder why coaches get upset when this stuff happens. Let me tell you what. During the fall, when I have your son, if I'm his coach, I spend more time with him than you do. And we're not like another father figure to him.
You definitely are. A coach is definitely a father figure or a role model. Not sure what happened if number 40, Landon Hill, got thrown out of the game, but he has his helmet off, and he's walking down the sideline. He's past the end of the end zone, going to the locker room. I don't know if he called it a night himself or if the refs called it for him.
Wow. But, these guys spend so much time and work so hard. When you get into situations like this, it's an emotional game, and I've talked about this earlier. You try to get them to where their hair's on fire and they're snorting smoke and going 100 mile an hour trying to hit somebody, and then sometimes when you're aggravated, frustrated, it's hard to turn it off. And I'm explaining why. I'm not giving an excuse. I'm just saying that's why that happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially in a game like this where you're already, down a lot. You don't want to see your player get hurt. Some fans cheering. They're waving goodbye. Not sure if a couple Princeton players have been removed from the game. But if so, number 1, Bradley Mosser's walking to the locker room. He's taking his pads off.
And you know what the bad thing about getting kicked out of this game is, don't you?
What's that?
Don't play in the next one.
Oh, you can't play next week? Well, I'm going to tell you what.
Well, I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the first half.
If that's true, that's also Marquell Lowe walking to the locker room. If he's been thrown out, that's their 2 offensive juggernauts leaving the game. So
Yeah, and don't cheer for those kids being kicked out. What if
Yeah.
it was your kid, you know?
Absolutely.
Just
So
my opinion.
Bradley Mosser and Markwell Lowe, the two leading offensive playmakers for Princeton, have been ejected from this game. We saw Landon Hill walk off. Not sure if he was ejected or did that on his own for Winfield.
Well,
so crazy last 5 minutes of real time, 10 seconds of game time. Hopefully we can get our heads together and finish out this game here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it may be a situation where they're just going to try to referee and keep the violence out now.
Absolutely.
I hope that's not the case.
They're going to say that was a shuffle pass. It went forward on the pitch over to Ratcliffe, so they're going to call that an incomplete pass. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Generals.
Must have been downhill from the quarterback. It looked like it was parallel to me.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I thought it was a fumble. Referees blew it dead.
Crowd slowly dissipating over here now.
Unfortunately, that happens when the score is like this. It's always nice to stick around, though, and tip your hats to the boys when they come to the sideline at the end of the game. 2nd and 10 for the Generals. Throw out by Pinkerton, getting to go way outside, nowhere able to be caught there for Trevon Tanner. Bob and I are both confused why they're not running the clock. I guess it would be a 35-point game typically runs it.
Yes.
And because of the botched snap on the PAT, it's only a 34-point game. So because of that, you get to sit around and listen to Bob and myself even longer tonight. And I know that's just what all of you wanted to do.
And that's okay. Curb your enthusiasm. We know you love it.
Shotgun snap is back, pump fake. Pinkerton's going to scramble around. He's got a guy in the back of the end zone. Can't get it there. Almost picked off, but it's going to fall incomplete. Hard to make that throw back across your body on the run to your right as a right-handed quarterback, getting it to the left.
And they're still, and admirably, they're still playing as hard as they can, trying to get it done.
Wouldn't have mattered. Would have came back because we got some more laundry on the field, Bob. This dry cleaning bill is going to be pretty pricey tomorrow.
Tell you what. Yeah, it's frustration, I'll tell you.
It's going to back the Generals up, bring up 3rd and a mile. Pinkerton's looking to throw. He launches one. It's going to go down to the right-hand side. That's going to go towards Trevon Tanner, but it's going to be out of bounds, unable to be caught.
Great coverage.
Bring up 4th down. Yeah, the defender was step for step with him. Surprise, surprise, a late flag coming in the end zone. Most likely going to be a celebration of some sort. Princeton players feel it's going to be against them. Celebrating the incomplete pass, I believe. I couldn't see it. The building's down to our right, and I looked down at the roster there to get a name, and in that meantime is when we had the flag thrown.
Well, you know what I said?
I don't know if anyone watching this game poured a Guinness tonight, but if the Book of World Records is next to that Guinness, can you pull it out and find out what is the most number of unsportsmanlike penalties in a high school football game? We have to be approaching it.
And the thing about it is, it's sad as a coach, it's embarrassing, you know?
Absolutely. It's one thing when it's a guy, you hit a guy and it's late on the sideline and you didn't think he was out of bounds or something like that, but when it's a celebration penalty.
Yeah.
Especially when you're up this big, be humble about it, you know?
Exactly right. Humble in victory, gracious in defeat.
Absolutely. You know, they say failure's never fatal and success is never final. Just because you're winning big tonight doesn't matter for potentially next week.
That's right. There's always somebody lurking in the shadows.
Next week they have Woodrow Wilson, and as you mentioned, 2-star players in Lowe and Mosser have been thrown out of this game, so they might have to miss at least the first half of the next game.
Yeah, I think it's one half.
So that's going to be problematic for them as they get set to take on Woodrow Wilson at Princeton. And then next week, it looks like the Generals have a bye. They could regroup themselves, and then they head to Sissonville on the 18th. Starting to shape up here. This is over the halfway point of, the season for most teams. Playoff picture starting to shape up, starting to see who the powerhouses are going to be. And, if Winfield can limp their way into the playoffs, and if the guy that's newly on crutches down there, Aiden Hernandez, can find a way to get back in for the playoffs, they could make a push just on desire alone.
Fortunately for Aiden, he has an extra week to heal up now.
Absolutely. Luckily, it looks like it's just his ankle tape, so hopefully nothing major, no major ligament damage, just a twist or a sprain. But you certainly got to be thinking when you're talking state playoffs that the Princeton Tigers will certainly be in the mix come late October.
We've been out here so long, the down marker's starting to get dim.
It's a problem with these electric ones. You got to recharge them. Pinkerton's pass on 4th down is going to be caught by the tight end, number 80, and he's going to be tackled. Looks to have the first down. See where the referee spots it. He got it. He's going to pick up the first down. He's going to be inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line, so it will be 1st and goal for the Generals. Apologize, as I have throughout the broadcast, we don't have a name to go along with number 80, but he's had a couple great catches tonight.
Yes, he has. Very impressive kid.
Playing a big role, filling in for Lockery, as we talked about, who's out with the labrum tear. So he had some big shoes to step in and fill, and he's done a great job of it tonight. 1st and goal. They're going to go back up the middle. I believe that's going to be Ratliff.
And the Generals are still fighting.
Absolutely. Ratcliffe going to take it down to about the 3. Injury timeout. Don't like to see it, but that's going to be a Princeton player down on the ground. Hopefully they can attend to him.
Can't get a number. I'm not sure who that is.
Can't tell if that's number 5 or number 6. I believe it might be Jordan Cooper. Bob's got the eagle eyes. He said, telling me number 6, so it's Jordan Cooper. He's going to walk off under his own power. Bring up 2nd and goal when we come back from the injury timeout. 7:55 to play, 48-14. Visitors over the Generals.
Still slugging it out. It's been a long one. They've been doing well getting after it.
It has been a dogfight. A lot of chippiness, a lot of hard hits. Been a great game, a lot of action.
I'm sure we'll probably create a rivalry for years to come now, the way they played one another.
Not a crosstown rivalry. These two schools pretty far apart, about 2 hours by the turnpike.
Yep.
It's one thing you got to love about the Mountain State, because it is so spread out. You do have some rivalries that aren't just your next door neighbor. You got to travel. You got to go to the hostile environments. Something you got to love about Friday Night Lights.
Imagine that, a flag on the play. Well, it was funny when I went to school here at Winfield, and then I played football at West Virginia Tech when they still had it. And my buddies thought I was crazy because I love playing on the road. And they said, why in the world do you love that? And I had not traveled a lot, and I hadn't been to a lot of places, even in West Virginia. So anytime we'd hop on the bus and go someplace to spend the night, I thought it was a big deal. So I got the best out of it.
I thought maybe they gave you an extra hot dog for traveling on the road, but you just like to tour the countryside.
Yeah.
That's going to be a reverse around the left-hand side, and that's going to be a general touchdown for number 5, Trevon Tainer. He's had a great game as he gets into the end zone, tighten the score to 48-21, 7:36 to play. I know on your bingo card, you've crossed off penalty flags, you've crossed off personal fouls, you've crossed off ejections. Don't not cross-off comeback yet. It's still possible.
There you go.
7:36 is a lot of game. You get one stop and a quick score, you're right back in this. So
you never know.
Don't tune out on us yet. Generals are going to try to make it exciting. I promise you that.
And with this score, also probably guarantees that there will not be a rolling clock to finish the fourth quarter with.
It appears that way. They dive in the backfield. Can't get there, though, and the kick is going to be up and good. I gotta believe that is number 86, Braden Whistler on the kick.
I believe the Generals band is happy to see them score a touchdown. They're getting to play the fight song and dance around down there, having a good time.
Always good.
I tell you what, it's tough. Nobody likes to lose. Everybody likes to win. But what great lessons in life you can learn being on a football team.
Absolutely. A lot of coaches will tell you, you learn more from a loss than a win sometimes.
Sure.
You get humbled by a loss,
I know as a coach, I always learn more because then you go back and explore every avenue possible to see what you could have changed to make things better,
Absolutely.
And if you're winning, you say, well, that's working. Let's not change that, So it does make you explore the realm of strategy a lot more. Student section has dwindled a little bit.
Well, they're probably hungry. Dinner was 5 hours ago. Been a long one here, ladies and gentlemen, but we do appreciate you tuning in to us on HD Media. Can you explain to me what just happened, Bob?
No, I have no idea.
Do the refs know? We got a flag.
God almighty.
At the kicking line of scrimmage. The guy caught the ball in play.
Maybe offsides on the kicking team?
Well, yeah, but you let the play out and then let the receiving team decide if they want to add on or re-kick. I don't think it was a fair catch. No smell of Kalitas in the air tonight, but they are playing Hotel California there by the Winfield band. Beautiful rendition, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Seeing the color guard twirl their flags there, I always think I can do some color guard major ed action. I twirl something, break something in the house, my wife gets mad. So, always awesome to watch them do their thing, too.
Yeah, you better go out in the yard to practice with your broomstick.
Yeah, I got power lines around my house. I'm going to take that chance.
There you go.
Not sure what happened. We backed up 5. We're going to re-kick it. Going to be returnable. And that's going to be number 5, Jordan Cooper, over the right side. He'll go down at about the 32-yard line. 7:29 to play here in the fourth. 48-21, not over, but will be a Georgia-type attempt at a comeback here late. Like I said, if you get a stop here, if you can get a 3 and out, get the ball back with around 6 minutes left, get a score, in a minute and a half, you got a shot. Not a great one, but a chance. If I learned anything from Lloyd Christmas in the movie Dumb and Dumber, so you're saying there's a chance.
That's right.
Going to be Jennings over up the middle. He's going to cut it back down the right-hand side. He's going to go down the sideline. He's breaking it loose. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Seeing the Penn State recruit show you that athleticism, show you what he could do on the offensive side of the ball. We saw it all night on the defensive side. He comes up hopping around a little bit there. Not sure if he tweaks something or stretching maybe a cramp. Hope he's all right. Run like that definitely will put a damper on the 1 in a million talk that I was just giving you.
Well, no. Everything he's done this evening, he deserves a cramp.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want him to have one, but that's what I'm saying. He's done a lot of work.
Absolutely. He's been out there all night long. I think the only thing bigger than some of these Princeton offensive linemen is that barge you see going down the river in the background. Going to be a hand up off the left-hand side. I believe that was Wyatt Klein, number 21, going up the middle. I think that's his first carry of the night. He picks up about 8.
Wyatt is the one I was telling you about, is the son of one of the guys I coached at Bailey'sville High School.
Could have been Rynell Cotney as well. It's hard to tell a number there on some of these jerseys. I think that might have been Rynell Cotney. I apologize for that. Going to go back to him on the right-hand side, and he is just absolutely stood up in the hole. Can't tell who that was, but then a gang of generals came on top of him.
Number 20, the ball carrier, Rynell Cotney. Right now by number 7, Carson Samples. Number 1, Aiden Martinez, also in the stop number 4 in the play.
Really surprised that Princeton still has their ones in there.
Yeah, rough to think about, like you said, risking an injury with a 21-point lead this late in the game.
Right.
I mean, surprised, but, coming back from the cramp, they're actually going to put Daniel Jennings back in the game. He's going to take the handoff. He's going to get over to the right-hand side. He's going to get stopped at about the 10-yard line. Sorry, call it the 13. Timeout to move the sticks in high school ball, but 5:50 to play here in the fourth.
Well, like you were talking about earlier, they couldn't ask for a better night for weather-wise. Perfect evening for the game.
Yep, absolutely. Getting to that perfect fall crisp night air.
Yes, sir. When you used to coach in Florida, you were glad when it got to where it's down below 90 at kickoff about this time of year.
Surprise, surprise, nothing happened on the play. We got more penalties coming in from the back judge. I don't even know how the back judge calls a pre-snap penalty.
I'm going to get ready to fall asleep tonight and see yellow flags flying over my head.
Now he's going to pick it up, wave it over his head, say no penalty.
There you go.
Changed his mind, I guess.
He's probably thinking, I haven't gotten to throw one all night. I'm throwing one.
Yeah, all my buddies got to do it. I want to do it too, Mom. Shotgun snap. Going to go off the right-hand side, and that's going to go back to Jennings. He's going to twist and twirl for a carry of about 5.
General's defense just worn down,
Absolutely. They've been out there a lot. The Generals do have 21 points, but their offensive drives haven't really eaten up a lot of clock, especially in the second half because they've had to throw. So that does wear you down. A lot of these guys play both ways.
Yeah, and they're substituting some of them now. And you got some guys that are tired, some guys that don't have as much experience,
Shotgun snap, go back to Jennings on the right-hand side. He's going to hit, he's going to bounce out. He's going to find the end zone and the pylon. He's in for 6 on the 5-yard scamper. Daniel Jennings on the handoff from Chance Barker over the right-hand side, and he's in to make it 54-21 here late in the fourth quarter.
Those Winfield kids in a couple of years will be watching Penn State play, and they'll say, I tried to tackle that guy.
You got any Ohio State fans here in the Valley? Whenever if Jennings gets up there and gets the ball and your dad's yelling on the TV, why can't you tackle that guy? He said, well, Dad, I couldn't either, so I understand it at least.
Well, you can tell when you have a Division I guy like that, they're just different. They're a little quicker. They're just different. They're a little better.
Absolutely.
And most of it's God-given.
There's a lot of players that you and I have both got the opportunity to see either on the field against or, coaching or playing or calling games like that have gone on to, the Division I level or to play on Sundays. And It is just a freak in nature, athletic ability that you can just spot.
Well, it really is. And I've often told people this, and I lived in the Tampa Bay area for a while in Clearwater. And when you're high school coaches, you got a pass to go over, and you could go in and right on the field at the Buccaneers training camp anytime you wanted to. And you don't know what football players are until you're standing right on the field in front of a bunch of NFL guys getting after it in practice. It just hits you between the eyes, the incredible amount of separation from even a really good college player to a pro player.
Absolutely. And not even on the football field, just pure athleticism in general.
Yeah, I mean,
I one time, I'm from the Pittsburgh area. I was at a gym in the Pittsburgh area, and I just went there after work one day in my mid-20s to play a pickup game of basketball, get a little cardio in. I'm by no means a basketball player, in any stretch of the imagination. And, I picked a guy on my team because he looked pretty athletic. The first time down the floor, I threw the ball to him on a fast break, and he took one dribble from the three-point line and dunked it and had his elbow in the rim. And I turned to somebody and said, "Who is that guy?" And they said, "Oh, you don't know who that is?" I said, "No." He goes, "That's Monte Nicholson. He's going to Michigan State." And then he ended up on the Redskins. Yeah. And I look back when he was on the Redskins and go, yeah, I remember when that guy left from about 2 feet inside the three-point line. And it was about the most athletic thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. And, that wasn't even on the football field, and that's what he went pro in.
And I would tell anybody watching right now, if you get a chance to go to a local NFL place or just for training camp where you can sit in the bleachers and watch, like go see the Browns or the Bengals or the Steelers or whatever at their camp, and just take the time to see the difference and what a pro football player does and how big they are. And the thing that amazes me more than anything else, those defensive linemen in the NFL, they are complete freaks. They are quicker than cats. They can run faster than anybody. They're amazing to watch.
Absolutely. Just like you said, freak in nature, God-given ability.
Oh,
just
man.
Something you can't even dream of if you don't have it.
Yep.
General's going to get the ball here at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10.
I'll give you an example of that. I was over at the Bucs training camp one day, and there was 2 or 3 of their defensive linemen after practice, and then down the end zone, you know what they were doing? Taking turns to see who could do the best backflip. You got a guy 6'6", 285 pounds doing a backflip and landing on his feet. I give up.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't remember what college player it was, but when he was this is about 5 years ago, he was going through the scouting combine, and they showed a video of him training to get ready for the combine, and he was in a 4-foot shallow, like a pool in the shallow end, and he jumped out of the pool and landed on the side of the pool flat-footed. He didn't touch anything. It was just a straight vertical out of a pool, which next time you're in a pool, I know it's getting into the fall time, but next time you're in a pool, go see how high you can jump in a pool. You don't go anywhere. And he jumped 4 feet.
That's incredible.
It was silly.
That's incredible.
I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, and if you have a chance, do, because it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and those are the guys, like I said, that are millionaires.
Absolutely. It's funny too. A lot of D1 guys, a lot of guys get recruited based on attributes and size and speed.
Right.
They might not be the best hand or the best football player, but they're like, well, we can coach that later. You can't coach God-given size and speed. 1st and 10 for the Generals here. They trail 55-21. Pinkerton's going to look to pass. He lays one out. Tanner comes back. Nice adjustment by Tanner to get it. He shakes a couple defenders, picks up an extra 3 or 4. A lot of running for it, though, as he's down to the 38-yard line.
Great effort.
Trevon Tanner with a great comeback on that route. Ball a little bit underthrown, almost like a back shoulder type, but able to make the connection, move the ball downfield.
Well, I'd like to say another thing real quick here. We're talking about college football and everything. I'll tell you after the play here.
1st and 10 after the big catch by Tanner. Going to go up the middle there to the fullback. He's going to pick up about 6.
As a high school football coach, being asked, and as a recruiter, asking myself, one of the first things a recruiter is going to check on you, if you're a great football player, first thing they're going to ask you is what kind of grades do you have? And then they're going to ask you what kind of character does he have?
Absolutely. One of the first things that you hear, I know our college coaches told us this, and then it was confirmed by NFL scouts, through like media outlets and stuff. Big tackle in the backfield. They had him by the head. That's going to be 15 yards of first down on a face mask, I believe.
Imagine that.
Another flag there as Ratcliffe tried to pick up a little bit of yardage. But they said that one of the first people that NFL GMs and scouts want to talk to, it's not Nick Saban, it's not the offensive coordinator, it's not the wide receiver coach, not the defensive line coach, it's the weightlifting coach, the strength and conditioning coach. What did he do when nobody else was watching?
Right.
Did he go, no, that guy's not getting drafted in the first 2 rounds, no matter how good he is, because he's a problem off the field. He's going to be a problem on the field at some point, too.
Good point. Yep. And I'll tell you what, if you're going to be a prospect for a draft, they're going to find out any and everything you have ever done in your life.
Absolutely. And when you look at the guys who are first-round picks that last, they're the guys that do the little things. They do everything right. Tom Brady did every little detail right. He was a 6th-round pick. Didn't matter because he did everything right. Johnny Manziel didn't. Look at the difference between the two. Pinkerton's pass out to the tight end on the tight end screen is going to fall incomplete.
And in reality, too, Johnny Manziel was probably a better athlete than Tom Brady.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not even close. Tom Brady could barely jog, let alone run.
Yep.
His arm was average at best, but he did the little things that made him who he was.
Sure.
Yeah, there was no one when he left Michigan that said, yeah, this guy's going to be great. There was one guy in the Patriots that was like, I think we should keep him and not cut him, and they did, and it worked out.
Yeah, it kind of worked out, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Pinkerton in the gun. He's going to try to throw, nothing doing. He's going to run and scramble himself. Going to pick up about 5 or 6 on the play and keep rumbling and stumbling. The body language doesn't look terrible for what the score is right now. And that says a lot about this coaching staff.
Yeah, Eddie Smolder does a great job with these young men.
A host of tacklers taking Ratcliffe down in the backfield. A lot of whistles there. Luckily, no one thrown down, so no flags on the play. It'll move to 2nd and goal from probably about we'll call it the 12, I would say.
A lot of people probably don't realize, too, that Coach Massey on this – a lot of people probably don't realize, too, that Coach Massey on this team played the NFL for the L.A. Rams for quite a few years.
So they got a lot of experience, a lot of greatness amongst these coaches.
Yeah, and of course he can tell those guys how it is,
Absolutely. Hats off to Keith Taylor, too, on the Princeton sideline, and his staff. They've done a great game. Got a little bit out of hand with some players, and he was able to wrangle them back in. Pinkerton making a guy miss, and he's able to scramble around, can't get back to the line of scrimmage, though, so he'll get taken down for the sack on the pass play.
Well, I know I've heard this. You've probably heard this 20 times, but these guys coming off the edge so quick for Princeton disrupt everything.
It's hard to look downfield, hard to find an open guy when you have someone, right there, right in your face mask.
Right. And when you have a team like Princeton that has, good players in a lot of different spots on the field, particularly on defense, if you try to exploit one thing, the other doesn't work, and you try everything you can try, it's just it's so unsettling, just disruptive all the time, where you just can't get in the flow and get anything going.
Absolutely. It's really easy to key when a team has one good player.
Sure.
But, this Princeton team has so many good players that you can't pick and choose a way to go. Going to be an end around. That's a nice cutback. What a run. Number 8 in for the touchdown. Correction, Gannon Boggs, number 9, on the end around, in for the touchdown. Little reverse action. Closing the gap. Making it look good on the scoreboard for tomorrow's paper. A little better, at least.
Something we haven't discussed about the team that's in the lead a lot, too. Sometimes they let down and want to coast a little bit,
A lot of times when that happens, that's when you get injured, because you take a play off, you get hit a little too hard, you get your ankle tweaked because you're not running with the guy.
That's one thing I learned really quick, particularly in college. If you're not playing as hard as you can go every down, you're in danger of getting injured.
Absolutely. Almost got a block there on the PAT, but it is up and good. That's going to be number 90, Jackson Alexander, putting it through the uprights. I believe his first PAT of the night. 47 seconds to go here. You assume Winfield would kick it onside, maybe try to throw another touchdown on the board. Maybe they kick it deep. I don't know. Either way, we appreciate you all tuning in to this game, this late, long game that we've had here. Been a lot of excitement, a lot of action, a lot of penalty flags, a little bit of everything tonight, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can tell by hearing the band and everything else, everybody on this side, at least on this side of the field, is still having a good time.
It's a good day to have a great day, Bob. Might as well enjoy it while you're here.
Well, another thing, you were talking about the band, too. It's tradition when my daughter played here, it probably still is, that they'll go and the band will go out on the field after the game and play. I don't know if they still do that or not, but a lot of times, a lot of people used to stay for that.
I hope they do. I hope they give us a little good show as we exit the stadium here. Jackson Alexander teeing it up. As we get ready for the kickoff in the last couple plays, we just like to thank you all for joining myself, Craig Broman, and Bob Goebel announcing the game tonight, and then Ethan Young and his crew doing all the audio visual, getting the camera set up, rolling through the production side of things. Hats off to them. HD Media streaming, bringing you this game. We appreciate you tuning in. If you can't make it out to a game next week, HD Media will be bringing you probably 2 or 3 games. Tune in, see what we got on the list upcoming. I believe that was number 5 on the carry. Don't have a number on him, or a name on him. Apologize. 39 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. You assume one kneel down, the game's over. So if that's the case, we will end with Princeton 55 and Winfield 28. Greatest formation in sports, Bob, if you're a football coach.
Yeah, if you're winning, anyway.
Yeah, true. For one sideline at least.
Yeah. Well-fought game. Looks like we've been talking about. The score doesn't indicate how tough Winfield played against these guys tonight. They just put them on the board so fast. It's really hard to overcome.
Absolutely. Quick strike offense. It's going to be a shotgun snap. They're going to take a knee, and that will tick down. We'll have to kneel one more time because of the 25-second play clock. Like I said, HD Media Sports bringing you this game and other games throughout the rest of the season. Please tune in every Friday night. We appreciate being able to bring this game to you. I'm Craig Broman, Bob Goebel here on the color. As we tick under 16, final score is going to be Princeton 55, Winfield 28. Any last thoughts, Bob?
Well, just, I've gone on and on about how much I love the Friday nights and everything, but we really appreciate you people that tune in to us and watch the game and spend the evening with us, because it makes it even more fun for us.
Absolutely. To quote Pat McAfee, be a friend, tell a friend about the HD Media streaming app, and, come over and be part of the game. As you see here, a lot of bad blood happening right now. Princeton is coming to the middle of the field to shake hands, and the Generals took it straight to the sideline. They're not shaking hands. They're saying it's over. We want nothing to do with it. Might be pointing to some police to get some escorts down to the corner to get student section out of here as well. Princeton coming to talk to the home fans. A little bit of not very good sportsmanship there at the end of the game. You hate to see it, but unfortunately that's the way it's going to end on the 55-28 night here in Winfield, West Virginia. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Craig Broman, Bob Goebel. As always, we'll see you next time.
Good night.